SCFA football and SoCalCollegeSports.com. Canyons hosts Moorpark coming up at 6 p.m. Join Mike Cepeda, Joe Soriano on Week 8 coverage of SCFA football. Stay tuned. And remember, everybody, you can go to our website, www.socalcollegesports.com. If you have an Xbox One, Apple TV, or a YouTube-enabled device, you can go to our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1, and tweet at us during the game at SoCal College SPO. Apple TV or a YouTube-enabled device, you can go to our
kickoff tonight, 6 p.m., College of the Canyons. Cougars taking on the Moorpark Raiders here in a National Conference Northern Division Conference game. It's a lot of shit.
SCFA football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Week 8 edition. Moorpark traveling to College of the Canyons. Kickoff slated for 6 p.m. Join myself, Mike Cepeda, Joe Soriano with the call. Coming up in just a bit here on SoCal College Sports. SCFA football on SoCalCollegeSports.com, Week 8 edition. Mike Cepeda, Joe Soriano with you. Moorpark and Canyons. Happy you've joined us, everybody. Well, a bit of a rust factor here, if you will. Maybe a bit of a trap game situation for Canyons. Very impressive on the season. Last time out, last Thursday, dropped a close one, a closely contested battle at Ventura, one of the top teams in the SCFA.
Yeah, that was a tough loss. Turned it over 3 times in the first 10 minutes, and you do that against a good team, and you're going to have a rough night, and
Absolutely.
they did. But, along those lines, Mike, a very rare Thursday night game that you just don't see here in Southern California, and the bye week preceding that. So the Cougars have only played 1 game in 21 days. Yeah. So you do have to worry about the focus and what's gone on in those 21 days. But this is a team that maybe you want to be playing after 21 days, 1 game.
Yeah, 1-5 on the season. Moorpark obviously a little down this year, but Moorpark for some reason has had a penchant to play the Cougars tough in years past.
Oh, absolutely. This is, a bit of a rivalry other than, I would say, Bakersfield. This is the team that we're very familiar with and play them every year. So, you got to play the game. Anything can happen, and the Cougars cannot get caught complacent or looking ahead because Moorpark will upset you.
That's why they play the games.
Absolutely.
You can't
That's why we're here.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just look at stat sheets and say, oh, hey, that team's going to be the winner. You never know.
No.
A good team with a good game plan on any given night can score an upset, and that would be a big upset tonight. 4-2 on the season is Canyons. Very impressive this year. There are only 2 losses to the 2 of the top 2 teams in the SCFA in Ventura and Fullerton. So
Fullerton, number 1 ranked team in the state, defending national champion. So a very respectable loss there. And then the one last week to Ventura has been
another
on a roll.
Respectable loss.
Very, very good team from Ventura has won the conference championship the last 3 years, I believe. So the season is not over by any means because there's a lot to go on. Bakersfield is very good this year.
Bakersfield's first in the conference right now. They're 5-1, and they're undefeated in conference play,
and still have to play Ventura. So those two are one of them is going to get knocked off, and the Cougars still have a chance to play Bakersfield. So there's a lot that's still going to go on before this thing is over. But you got to focus on what's going on tonight.
Yeah, this is essentially a must-win game.
Yes.
Granted, it's against a 1-5 team, but you do have to take care of business, and we'll find out if they do just that. Moorpark Canyons coming up 6 p.m. Spread the word, everybody. www.SoCalCollegeSports.com. You can also go to our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. You got an Apple TV, you got an Xbox One. Search our channel, SoCal College Sports 1. You can upscale this broadcast to 1080p. Back in a moment here on SoCal College Sports. College Sports 1 and tweet at us during the game at SoCal. So first in their conference right now. They're 5-1, and they're undefeated in conference play.
And still have to play Ventura. So those two are, one of them is going to get knocked off, and the Cougars still have a chance to play Bakersfield. So there's a lot that's still going to go on before this. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Cougar Stadium on the campus of College of the Canyons for tonight's exciting football game between the Moorpark College Raiders and the College of the Canyon Cougars. Joe Soriano, Mike Cepeda joining you on a breezy night here in Santa Clarita, Mike. Should be a good football game.
Hey, you talk about the elements, and you wonder how that could factor in to what happens in the ball game. Obviously, we know that Andrew Brito has a bit of a gun, but what can he cut through the wind? I think we're going to find out in about 15 minutes.
Absolutely, and the kicking game, of course. You're talking about 30, 35, 40-yard field goal that's got to get up. The wind could wreak some havoc on it.
Expect some four-down territory where you normally would.
Absolutely. So teams are on the field. The Cougars won the toss. Chose to defer, so they'll kick off. Going from right to left, Lewis Usebi is the kickoff man for the Cougars. And a couple of Raiders deep. The Raiders come in 1-5, Mike, struggling a bit. Cougars come in 4-2. Both are 0-1 in conference, so this is a big game.
Yeah, you can't drop any games going forward. If you're Canyons, you already dropped your conference opener.
And we are underway. UCB kicks it short. It's going to be fielded about the 13, and that is Vincent Corso. He's up the middle and finally brought down, hit hard by the Cougar kickoff team, but pretty good field position to start the ball game for the Raiders.
And not a bad return. Pretty good initial burst here. I like the hit at the end. Very physical play to start things off, sending a message for the Cougars.
Well, we've got quarterback, and he's going to use the old Doug Flutie number 22, Tanner Darling. I guess I'm dating myself a little bit there, Mike, but Tanner Darling is the quarterback for the Raiders as he comes in. And this offense has struggled. We have to call it what it is. They're only punching out about 300 yards a game in offense and 14 points a game. So they're going to need to do something different to stay in this ballgame. 1st and 10 at the Moorpark 38-yard line. Darling drops. He wants to fire, swings it out here in the flat and down. He had a knee down. And I believe that was number 6, Edion Bada, who actually was listed as a tight end, but they're starting to play him in a lot of different positions, Mike.
Yeah, but Bada playing out of the backfield just looked like a wheel route where they had him in the flat, wide open. Bada just falls down.
In the backfield now is Desmond Davis, as Darling will go from the shotgun, trips to the far side, and the Cougars in a 4-man front. They're going to give it to Davis, and he's wrapped up, spun around, but breaks out of it. Now he's trying to get to the outside. He's got a little bit of room out there. Turns the corner, and he'll be run out of bounds by DeAndre Henderson up around the 43-yard line. So made a nice pickup, what looked like was going to be a loss.
Really good job there by Henderson in pursuit. That could have been a big play. Yeah, Davis, a lot of room to run. Henderson tracks him down.
So first 3rd down of the ballgame, 3rd and 4 for the Raiders. And this time they'll split up the receivers. And it'll be Desmond and Darling in the backfield. Again, Cougars with a 4-man front. They blitz a linebacker over the middle. That's caught and then dropped. And that is incomplete. That's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes a punt team. Well, had him open for a sec.
Just what the doctor ordered. That's a very catchable ball. That's one that should have been caught. It should have extended this drive. Instead, it's a quick 3 and out. And here comes Andrew Brito and company, presumably.
Right, and deep will be Deshaun Holmes and R.B. Marlowe for the Cougars. Interesting twist tonight, Mike. The Cougars have traded. Brandon Pierce is now going to play slot receiver, the former starting corner, and Khalid Taylor, who was a slot receiver, will now play corner. So they have swapped positions for the rest of the season.
Well, Coach Isenda in the preseason talked about how versatile his squad is, and we see that right here in the mix-ups.
High kick. It's going to be Marlowe with the fair catch, and he does so at about the 14. So we'll get our first look at the Cougar offense coming out on the field.
Joe, that's a really nice punt there by Stefan Gomez, and Gomez gives out a lot of hang time and really just not a lot to work with.
Yes, and that's the best way to cover it is to force a fair catch. So the Cougar offense will have Andrew Brito, the freshman from Paramus Catholic, led his high school team to an undefeated state championship last year.
Actually, it was not undefeated.
No, you're right. They had one loss.
One loss.
But the kid is a winner.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Well, the initial read was I thought he was an undefeated state champion. He corrected me first week that we were here out at one of the Thursday practices.
Gotcha.
Big win earlier today for Fullerton. We mentioned them in the pregame. One of the defeats, in the loss column, for Canyons. Fullerton a winner, 56-35 over Saddleback. They were down at halftime, 21-14.
Wow, Fullerton is too good.
Well, big third quarter, 28-0 over Saddleback, and that was a game.
Cougars offense out. We're going to go no backs here. Andrew Brito is the quarterback. R.B. Marlowe in motion. Now he'll set up to his right. Brito's going to swing it out to Marlowe. He's looking for a block. He cuts it inside, puts his head down, barrels himself. I think he put it on the carpet there for a second, or he didn't go down. Anyway, he's up over the 20, right at the 20-yard line. They swung it out to him. He got one block, but needed another.
That's a really good open field tackle on R.B. Marlowe.
They'll spot it right at the 20, pickup of 6. We'll call it 2nd and 4. Now Keelan White is your running back, who is having a tremendous season. We'll get to him in a moment. Twin receivers on the near side. Brito drops. He's going to scramble, and then he's wrapped up and thrown down. He might have picked up half a yard, so it won't be a sack, but nothing doing for Brito.
Yeah, Jalen Kitchen. What a name. What a great name for a football player.
Exactly. The starters tonight, Brito and Keelan White, Deshaun Holmes, Jaron Pierce, and Brandon Pierce are the wideouts. Up front, you've got Alex Rockwell, left tackle, Travis Bird, left guard, Tate Renaud, the center, Nick Harmon at right guard, and Carlton Lorenz at right tackle. 3rd and 4 for the Cougars. Looks like Jalen Logan is checked in at the running back. Brito drops. He's got time over the middle, and that's caught. That's Hunter Schussler, the tight end.
No, it looked like Lazarick.
Oh, you're right. Ethan Lazarick, his 10th reception on the season, and he'll have enough for the first down up to the 37 of the Cougars.
Yeah, Lazarik's been a nice security blanket along with Schussler on the field, number 13, number 17. It's easy to mix that up, especially when we're in quick action.
But Lazarik, 9 catches. The Cougars going to get caught with 2 men on the field. But Lazarik came into the game with 9 catches, 2 of those for touchdowns, 1 the game winner at Grossmont as they squeaked out a 29-28 win down there in Grossmont. So Lazarik has been clutch with his receptions, and now he's got 10 on the season.
Speaking of National Northern Division, Ventura took care of business at Santa Monica in a big way, 55-0. So Ventura just very impressive. We saw them a week ago on the Thursday night game, conference opener, a winner over Canyons.
2-back set now for Brito. He's going to toss it out here to R.B. Marlowe. He's got the corner. He's at the 40. It's at the 45, 50, into Raider territory, up near the 46. A nice run by R.B. Marlowe.
I think the defense just a little late to react there. We watched the replay, and Marlowe has no trouble getting the edge. There's nobody there.
Boy, if Jaron Pierce stays with that block. But still a nice pickup for R.B. Marlowe. And again, 1st and 10 at the 46 of the Raiders. Brito in the gun. He'll drop again. He's got Keelan White out here in the flat. He's at the 40, 45, 30. Cuts back to 30, 25. All the way down near the 15-yard line goes Keelan White. And the Cougar offense is hitting right now.
All cylinders.
Yes, sir.
They look like a Hemi V8 out here in Moorpark. Really just providing no resistance early on.
And one of the things I've always liked about this young freshman is he spreads the ball out. So a lot of guys are going to see it tonight.
Yeah, he just does a great job of looking off defenders, doesn't key in on any one player. Is this another 12 men on the field?
We saw 2 flags come out as the Cougars approach the line. Yes. Another. So a little bit of confusion now with who should be in the ballgame and not in the ballgame, so it'll back up the Cougars again to make it 1st and 15.
I wonder if that's going to result in some wind sprints this week.
Or, the new thing now is the rolling. They make them roll. 1st and 15 at the 20. Brito's going to toss it here to Keelan White. He's looking for a block, tries to cut back. Pretty good job by the Raiders on that one. Pickup of a couple. Keelan White comes in averaging 95 yards a game, Mike, but over 8 yards a carry and 7 touchdowns. He has been an exciting player so far.
Oh, the big win on the season for Canyons is the win over Long Beach. Obviously a power in this National Central, and during that week of play, White, Player of the Week in the SCFA.
Right, and had a big game last week in the loss to Ventura, well over 100 yards. So having himself a very good season. Split backs now, 2nd and 12 for the Cougars. And Brito's going to give it to White again. He's over the middle, keeps his legs driving. He's a big guy. Up inside the 9-yard line goes Keelan White.
Just a big body to bring down. I mean, that's a tall order.
Yes. And
pun intended.
Yeah. So that'll bring up 3rd and about 3. They'll mark it at the 9.
Remember to spread the word, everybody, www.socalcollegesports.com. You can also go to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Tell us how we're doing at SoCal College SPO, and our YouTube channel is SoCal College Sports 1.
Need to get up near the 6 for the first down. Brito drops. Here comes the blitz. He's going to take it himself. He's got some room, puts his head down. He's going to get wrapped up, but he'll get down inside the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal Cougars.
Man, Brito's just such a gamer. I mean, he could have taken the slide. He still had the first down. No, he was thinking end zone. And, Coach ISN is probably going to have a little bit of a talk with him. They're going to go power package here.
They are. The heavy package comes in. Includes multiple tight ends. Keelan White is not feeling good out on the field, so they should swap him out.
Keelan White,
yeah,
doing his best Willie Beeman imitation.
So White, let's hope that's just nothing too serious, but he'll come over to the sidelines. They'll bring in Jalen Logan to replace him. Alonzo Reeves is the linebacker who's like quarterback. He's going to try to burrow his way in towards the goal line.
He's close. I think it's a touchdown.
Waiting for a call. Nobody's got a call yet. The ball is already out, so they're going to spot it and say he's short. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I want to know who ran it.
It was Alonzo Reeves.
Okay, Reeves.
Yep. Took it himself from the quarterback spot. He's a starting middle linebacker, by the way. And let's see if they do it again. Yes, it'll be Reeves again. And they're trying to do the Bush push.
Yep, I think they got him.
He's got to be close. Still no signal.
Well, he was on the 1-inch line.
And no signal. Third down, they're saying. Still short.
Joe, we saw something very similar in the Ventura game, and obviously, when you have a chance to be the bully, Coach Iacenda has told me that they are going to do every bit to be the bully when possible. But, you can't get predictable down here, especially against better teams. I mean,
right.
I know you're trying to run some sets, you're trying to run some power, but, you got to be a little bit more versatile down here at the goal line.
The ball is spotted literally at about the 6-inch line.
If that.
And this will be third down with this heavy package. Reeves again. Takes it again, and this time he's in.
He's in.
So there's the signal. Touchdown, Cougars on their first drive of the ball game. 7:51 to go, and Alonzo Reeves punches it in.
You see here on the replay from the end zone camera, didn't have it at first. He was actually pretty stuffed, but then he finds a little bit of a seam.
You're right. Had he not bounced it out a little bit outside, he would have been stopped again.
Yep.
So Lewis Eusebi will check in for the PAT. Having himself a pretty solid season.
Not bad.
23 out of 26 on PATs and 4 out of 5 field goals. Very strong leg. Kick is up and kick is good. I was talking to Coach Iacenda at practice yesterday, and he said there's no question that UCB can kick at the next level. He just may need a little more individual coaching, maybe a camper here or two, one or two here or there, and he could benefit another program in the next couple seasons.
He does a really good job right there maintaining his composure because that was not a clean snap. It's a good job by the placeholder getting that ball down, but does not waver at all and puts it through.
And I think that was an issue early in the season was he was worrying himself about the snap and then finally told himself, I just have to do what I do, and if the ball is there, the ball is there, and if it's not, it's not. So he's gotten better since then. So as we said, 7:51 to go. Cougars lead 7-0 over Moorpark. SoCal College Sports and College of the Canyons football bringing you this broadcast. Joe Soriano, Mike Cepeda with you.
And we will touch on a special event during the week for College of the Canyons and working in tandem with the Rams and working with the Special Olympics group here in Southern California.
That's a neat deal. Desmond Davis. And it's going to be Corso. He's at about the 7, trying to get back to the middle. He's got a little bit of room. Cuts inside, a little more room, and finally brought down up around the 32-yard line. So pretty nice return, and the Raiders will give it another shot after going 3 and out in their first drive.
Yeah, that was a statement drive to open the game there for Andrew Brito and company. The offense looked very, very polished. Midseason form, and why not? Not showing any bit of rust.
Cougar defense, I'm sure at this point they don't want to show too much, so hoping they can play their base defense, and that'll be enough. But we'll keep an eye on that as the game goes on. But they started with the 4-man front. They're going to stay with the 4-man front, at least for now.
Well, it's easy to do that when you have the likes of Dorian Jarrett and Chris Fanga.
Right, and Juice.
Darling.
He'll fake it. He fires out in the flat. Almost intercepted. Nice play out there.
That's a great job jumping the route there. It looked like Perry.
Wow, that was Darius, number 15. Vuku Brodov, Darius's name. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Was that 15? Wow.
This time they'll try to run it with Davis, and he's wrapped up and brought down from the backside. And that was Juice there with a little help from Alonzo Reeves.
That's great pursuit there by Juice. And let's watch the replay here. Just backside. Good penetration. They're trying to run at Dorian Gerald, and generally that's just not a good idea.
No, and he had some help there. Shadrack Lowry also helping out Alonzo Reeves, so he was going to get wrapped up.
I will say in the opening game on the season, running at Dorian Gerald seemed to prove to be successful early on for the Marauders in that game, but Gerald showing every bit why.
And there he is.
SEC talent. It's Juice, it's Dorian Gerald, and watch out.
Darling goes down. It could have been either one of them. He just was able to duck out of the way of Dorian, but couldn't get away from Juice.
Let's watch that one more time.
Both ends.
That's a scary sight.
As you talked about, Gerald, the Tennessee verbal commit, leads the team in 6 sacks, 11 tackles for losses.
Yeah, he's up there in the SCFA, no doubt.
So the punt team is on again for the Raiders. Deep for the Cougars, Brandon Pierce and R.B. Marlowe. This kick is short, and they're saying get away from it. And should be good field positions right up near midfield for the Cougars.
It's going to be right beyond midfield. You're going to spot it out. Oh, right at the 50.
So not a great kick there. And let's see if the Cougars can take advantage as they start their second series.
Only a 29-yard kick, so Cougars in business here. It looked very good on their first drive. Looking to pour a little gravy early.
So Coach Iacena will chat the offense up as they come on the field. This time it'll be Jalen Logan. So Keelan White may be still feeling some of the effects from earlier. Keep an eye on him.
Yeah, trying to get him with some fluids.
But Brito and Logan. Brito drops. Looking, fires, and it's in and out of the hands of Jaron Pierce, incomplete. Pierce, the second leading receiver for the Cougars.
You know, I want to say that's a catchable ball. I think Pierce got to come up with that. Let's watch that one more time. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's just off the mitts.
Yep, a little high. It wasn't right there, but again, that's a ball you should catch.
That's within the catch radius, that's for sure.
2nd and 10. Again, the two-back set. Marlowe and Logan. Brito's now going to check off, and we have a flag. I think we might have some movement. Yep. I think the center might have moved.
I think they had gotten set already. Well, a lot of times you'll see when there's indecision from the quarterback, you'll get that indecision from the line, usually going to result in 5 going the other way.
So that's the 3rd 5-yard penalty on the Cougars already. 2nd and 15, backed up to their own 45. Brito looks, he fires, and it's caught. I think that's Lazarick again out there. Back into Raider territory at the 47. So Ethan Lazarick with his 2nd reception of the ball game. Ball was a little low, but he did what he had to do to catch it.
You know, Joe, earlier in the season for the New England Patriots, Julian Edelman goes down, and Tom Brady talked about what was the biggest factor in him going down. It's trust. And obviously on the season, I think Brito and Lazarick have a nice rapport and a good amount of trust between the two.
No doubt. 3rd and 6 for Brito. He's looking, has time, looking. Now he wants to go back right, but he is scrambling for his life, looking, fires, and it's caught up near the 30-yard line. Is that Deshaun Holmes?
Man.
No, that's R.B. Marlowe. Great catch and nice job by Brito to keep the play alive.
Now we'll just watch the replay here, and Brito doing his best Donovan McNabb imitation here. Fires one across the grain against his body. We talked about the zip on the football that he provides. We see it point blank from the end zone cam.
1st and 10 at the 29. He does a lot of things that guys his size shouldn't be able to do.
It's pretty uncanny. He's a 2-sport athlete, plays baseball, and you see why. I mean, obviously the gun.
Oh, the inside shovel, that's the Logan, and the Raiders read that right away.
I feel like the inside shovel pass has been the rage of just football on so many levels.
Just going to mention that. You're seeing it everywhere. We saw Ventura run for a touchdown
saw
last week.
Kansas City been running a lot this year. And
yeah, big play, hot play right now. 2nd and 10. No gain there.
A few years ago, it was the Wildcat that was the big rage in the league. And hey, it's a copycat league.
Absolutely.
On many different levels.
Twin receivers, Logan and Brito. He fires, wants to go deep. He's got Deshaun Holmes, and did he hold on to it? Yes, he did. What a great catch by Deshaun Holmes out at the 1-yard line. I thought he bobbled it, but wow.
See the replay one more time here. Oh, we don't get it on the camera here. Let's check our other view.
Nice job.
And he runs over the pylon. That should have been a touchdown if they rule it a catch.
Maybe his other foot. We don't have the luxury of that. Our replay we have, but So the Cougars now will huddle.
Well, first in the doorstep, I think they'll take it.
Yes. They'll go back to their heavy package again. This time it's going to be KJ Latu at the quarterback, the linebacker. He'll try to keep it himself. He's hit immediately, and he's dropped for a loss. So the Raiders are doing a great job with this heavy package that the Cougars are trying to run. And because of that loss, they're going to bring the first offense back on the field.
Well, Joe, I think, obviously at any point you have to make the adjustment here. But, based on the bulk and the size up front, Moorpark pretty hefty, but not very good east and west. So, you have these speedy receivers on the outside. How about running maybe a jet sweep here, or at least get that defensive line moving so that way you can find a gap?
Second goal from the 5. Let's see what they come up with. Just inside the 5. Logan, so White still on the sidelines. And Brito fires out here. Caught. That's a touchdown, and that is R.B. Marlowe.
That is easy money.
A nice out route, and on the money was Andrew Brito with that throw.
That's just terrific diagnosis. Knows exactly where he's going. Nobody able to jump the route. Marlowe an easy 6.
Cougars 2 for 2 on their offense. 2:52 to go in the first, and they're out to a quick 13-0 lead with UCB on to try to make it 14.
This is shades of the game earlier at Santa Monica today that resulted in a 55-0 win for Ventura.
Kick is up. Kick is good. UCB 2 for 2. Cougars lead 14-0 at Cougar Stadium.
UCB splitting the uprights. Pretty good job there.
So the Raiders got to get something going here offensively because they've had a couple of 3-and-outs, and the Cougars have capitalized on both of them. If they want to stay in this thing, they got to keep their defense off the field.
And this isn't a game where, Moorpark is going to take their – or Canyons, rather, is going to take their foot off the gas. You're working for style points here, especially towards the end of the season when you talk about, what's the separating factor. What if at the end of the season Moorpark gets a win over Bakersfield or over Ventura? I mean, obviously, at this point, you and I would agree that's very unlikely, but if it happens, that's going to make a very blowout of win look very good to the committee.
Absolutely, and you never know. Like you said, what's involved. Points scored, points given up. Yep. All those things are taken into consideration. So you're right. But I'm sure here's a short pooch kick. And it's going to be the up back at about the 21. Little room over there. He's brought down.
I like the recovery there from the coverage team. Don't really like the sense of urgency getting down there. I don't know if that was by design, but.
One of the things I'm sure, Coach, I would like to see is some of the backups get some time. Darren Blackshear, the backup quarterback, you'd love to get him some reps.
Yep.
And some of those other guys. So, like you said, they're going to keep their foot on the gas, but hopefully that turns into some guys getting an opportunity to play that you may need down the road.
If there's ever going to be a game where we see Blackshear, tonight's going to be just that.
And he has played well when he has played.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for the Raiders at the 35-yard line. I formation, don't see that a lot anymore. Nope. And it's going to be Davis, the second man through, and he's hit and wrapped up and dropped immediately. Yeah. Nice play back. I think that was Banks. There's the replay.
That's a terrific job. Is that Banks or Freeman?
No, it was Bonte Freeman, the linebacker, sophomore.
Bonte Freeman.
Charlotte, North Carolina. 4-man front again, 2nd and 11 now. Trips to the near side for Darling. Oh, might have some movement. They're going to swing it out to Davis. He turns the corner, and he's up near. He'll have enough for the first down if he stayed in bounds, and that wasn't Davis. That was Mark Martin.
How about Dorian Gerald? Let's watch this play here, Joe, because Dorian Gerald, he over-pursues, and then he gets back and he makes a tackle on the runner.
Look at that. Amazing.
Unbelievable. I mean, he was the offending party on the penalty, but, he doesn't stop hustling on the play.
Great job by Gerald there, not giving up. Coaches notice that stuff.
Well, and not only that, this is a player defensively. He's a defensive lineman. He's an end. He runs with the wide receivers. Speaks to the kind of athlete you're dealing with.
1st and 10 at the 47. Trips to the near side. Darling wants to throw. Looks left, fires, and it's in and out of the hands. Incomplete.
Got to watch out there.
Khalid Taylor, the brand new corner on the far side.
That looked pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good coverage there. Brings up third down.
Well, if Graves sells that a little bit, that could have been 15 the other way.
Yes, you're right. Check that second down. So as we talked about, Khalid Taylor was a slot receiver. He's now as a corner, and he immediately gets the start. And Brandon Pierce was a corner. He's now a slot receiver, and he got the start tonight. Here's Darling. There's a little mesh there. It's Desmond Davis, but he's hit and dropped, and he might have a yard gain. That was
Davis a little indecisive here early on, reading his block. So we watched the play here. He had a gap right here.
Yep.
And instead elects to go and bounce it outside. I don't know what he's doing. Is he trying to shy away from contact or what the deal is, but he had an initial run, and that's where he's going to have forward momentum. He's going to be able to plow forward, maybe gain 3, 4, 5 yards on that play. Instead, it's only a 1-yard gain.
Justin Dennison on the stop. Nice play there. So 3rd and long again. The Cougars showing blitz. It's 3rd and 9 at the 48. Nobody in the middle of the field. Here they come. And they throw to the middle of the field, and it's caught, and that'll be enough for the first down. So
should be.
They gambled, and that was R.B. Marlowe on the coverage. So the wide receiver / running back playing a little DB there. And that's the guy they picked on, and they got the first. So move it up to the Cougar 42-yard line.
Yep.
Should, barring an incomplete, could be the last play of the first quarter. Darling swings it out there to the far side. Got some room, got a wall out there. Finally banged out of bounds, but not before another Moorpark first down.
Yeah, it's a Moorpark first down, but Shadrack Lowry Jr. laying the boom at the end of this one. What's a collision here? Boom.
Yes.
Take a seat.
But the Raiders will take it. They've got a first down at the Cougar 32.
Likely going to be the last play of the first quarter here.
And this time, Darling's going to keep it himself. He's got some room on the far side, but nice open field tackle out there. And that's Khalid Taylor.
So Taylor doing a pretty good job out there. We watched that. That's a great read by Darling, keeping himself. And Taylor makes a great tackle. That's a touchdown-saving tackle, Joe.
Little help from Chris Fainga. So, again, good pursuit by the D-line.
Yeah, we'll watch the replay one more time here. As Darling reads it, sees it Gerald's there, keeps it himself, and takes it up. And nobody in between Darling and the end zone except for Taylor, and Taylor makes a play.
We're at the end of the first quarter. The Cougars lead 14-0 on SoCal College Sports and College of the Canyons football. Get some sirens.
Well, be sure to visit us at www.socalcollegesports.com. Tweet at us at SoCalCollegeSPO. Let us know how we're doing. You like the broadcast? You want to give a shout out to any friends and family maybe playing in the ball game? Feel free to let us know. And tune in to our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. You can catch us on the go. Smartphone, tablet, PC, on your PC. Mac. You got an Apple TV, an Xbox One. Use the YouTube app and search the channel. And subscribe.
Back at College of the Canyons, Cougar Stadium. Joe Soriano, Mike Cepeda with you as the Raiders have a 2nd and short. 2nd and 1. They go I formation, actually offset I. They'll give it to Davis. He tries to bounce it. He's able to get himself forward. He's going to be right at the marker. Let's see where they spot it.
It's a better job by Davis reading the block and making a decisive cut inside, moving forward. That's going to move the chains.
So a nice drive so far by the Raiders. Put together 3 or 4 first downs here.
Did not shy away, did not try to go east and west. He picks up a new set.
So they'll spot it on the 22. 1st and 10 for the Raiders.
And offensively, this is exactly what you need. You need to keep your defense off of the field. Let them get regenerated.
Martin is the fullback. Davis Darling drops, swings it out here to Davis on the far side. He's got a little bit of room, but he's hit and knocked out of bounds up there on the far side. That's Shadrick Lowry. It's a pickup of a couple.
This isn't an offense that puts up a ton of numbers, but I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed with Darling early on.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good drive for sure. And as we talked about their struggles, only 14 points a game coming into tonight. Not going to win a lot of ball games, only scoring 14, but they're on the move now. Second and about 7. Split backs now. They have brought Bata back in the game.
Hard count.
Darling,
free play.
Flag down. Should be little or no gain, but
well, it's going to be a 5-yard gain via the penalty. 2nd and 2 about to come up here after the free 5.
Darling, he is the sophomore from Simi Valley High School.
Upset in the making here, and I don't know if you'd necessarily categorize it as a huge upset, but El Camino Mount Sac tied in West Covina at 3 apiece. They're starting the second quarter as we speak.
Wow.
El Camino's been very good this season.
Yep. 2nd and 2 now for the Raiders. Bata and Davis back there with Darling. He is going. Oh, and it's blown up. Juice starts it, and Dorian Gerald finishes it.
Sit down. Look at this penetration here, Joe.
Zone read, but there was nowhere to go. Boom. First it was Juice, then Dorian finishes him.
Yeah, it wasn't even a zone read. It was more like a tackle read. Who wants to get tackled? I'm going to give it to you. Here you go.
Yeah, I don't want it.
Hot potato.
Pick your poison, 46 or 99. So now third, back him up, 3rd and 6.
That's a pretty potent poison.
Cougars looking to try to hold it. Got to think this is 4-down territory for the Raiders, but we'll see. Darling drops. Looks left, fires, and it's caught right at the 5-yard line. Nice reception, nice throw. 1st and goal for the Raiders.
How about Berardi, though? Berardi with a great route. Watch that on the replay here.
Double coverage.
Double coverage. He stutters and falls right into the gap. We'll see it one more time here.
6'1", 175-pounder.
Pretty nimble feet, and you really love the route, and Darling threw him open. Great anticipation throw. We'll watch it one more time on the replay here, and just a great job.
Cougars rushed forward, blitzed nobody, and that gave Darling some time, so a nice job up front by the Raiders. And we've got a timeout. Cougars
a little bit on their heels right here defensively, and they're going to talk it over. And Moorpark is starting to build some confidence here.
Bit,
timeout
absolutely.
on the field. We'll take a timeout ourselves. Back in a moment here on SoCal College Sports.
We are back. Second quarter, 12:31 to go. Cougars lead Moorpark 14-0, but Moorpark knocking on the door. They have a 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. And now they're going to go double tight end set here. Well, actually, a couple different tight ends. Heavy on the left.
Christian Graves, watch out.
Davis is going to try to bounce it outside. Coming up from free safety, Bobby Brown drops him for a loss. Nice play by Brown.
Well, let's see the replay here. We missed it on the main camera.
Brown shooting. Just fired himself in there.
He obliterates the gap.
So 2nd and goal, now back it up to the 8-yard line. Now they'll try to spread them out. Darling and Davis. Darling looking. He fires out here in the flat again. It's caught, but a good open field tackle. That is
like
Justin Dennison, yes. Nice job out there. It's going to bring up. Picked up a couple, move it up to the 5. We'll bring up 3rd and goal. So the Cougars looking pretty good so far in these first 2 plays.
Isn't Dennison's a chili?
I believe you're right, Dennison. Yeah. You must be hungry. Trips to the far side for Darling. Single receiver down here on the near side. Keep an eye on him.
I'm actually pretty full thanks to the Jersey Mikes.
Oh, that's awesome. Berardi down here. They want to go to him. Back corner. 2 receivers caught, and that's a touchdown.
Didn't matter.
Flag down, double coverage, and still made the catch.
Well, they took advantage of Taylor, and it did not matter. Let's watch the replay here. That is an impressive throw and catch. Look at that.
Yes.
He just goes and snatches it out of midair.
Hit Taylor over the top.
Watch it one more time here. Man, that's pretty impressive, even after contact.
Yeah, great catch, pitch and catch. That was Brandon Hattori, the linebacker, was underneath, and Taylor over the top, and neither of them could get there.
Now, there's a flag on the field, and I wonder what this is about because they're talking it over. No. Penalty going to go against Canyons.
So the Raiders will get the score and cut into this Cougar lead with 10:53 to go here in the second quarter. Coming on for the PAT for Moorpark is Riley Garrett, who's only 6 of 10 on PATs on the season, which goes to show you they haven't scored a lot of touchdowns.
Oh, we're going to get a pretty good look at it here from the end zone camera. Pretty good.
Looks good. Flag down. Let's see what we have. Somebody, I don't know what that was.
A little extracurricular on the line. Maybe something was said that was in bad taste. And I think this is going to go against Canyons, or is it going to be offsetting?
They've already got a penalty coming on the kickoff. Ah. I didn't see it. Did you?
I didn't see it. I did see some.
I mean, that means trying to leap over one of the players, right?
Yeah, it's little tough to figure out how that was interpreted. But either way, is this going to be 30 yards going the other way?
Well, if
it is, expect an onside kick. That's what I do.
That's what I absolutely.
We'll get confirmation from Jesse Munoz. Jesse, is that 30 yards on the kickoff?
2 penalties will be assessed for the Raiders. They'll be kicking from Cougar territory.
Wow. So they're going to kick it from the 35
of the Cougars.
Of the Cougars. So here comes.
You're absolutely right. Why wouldn't you onside?
If you don't have the hands team out there, not doing your homework, it'd be ill-advised.
I mean, you could lay it up right there, and that would be average field position. So why not go for it?
They are heavy to the right.
Yes, they are. And I don't believe that's the hands team for the Cougars.
I don't think so.
A couple of them, but not all. There it is. Got a big bounce. That ball is around. It's live. And that is Moorpark.
Oof.
That is Moorpark football.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, why is 75 on the field?
That's terrific execution here,
it
Joe.
is.
We'll see it one more time.
He got a great hop on the
replay.
Second hop was a big one. Got it up in the air. There weren't even any blue jerseys around it.
No.
So it
Man who recovers that, that's William Boucher.
Khalid Taylor and Bobby Brown were over there, but they never even got close. So the Raiders are in business, 1st and 10 at the Cougar 20. They're only trailed by 7.
And the defense was just out there, so what type of fatigue factor do you think is settling in here?
And that was a long drive that the Raiders had. So let's see if they can capitalize and keep the momentum going.
defense needs to make a play, and this is Dorian Gerald time. This is where you see that young man pin his ears back and go to work.
Bada and Davis in the backfield with Darling. He was going to swing it out here to Bada. He's getting a block. He's at the 15, puts his head down in near the 13. So a nice pickup there.
Which is a really good job by Darling. Again, getting the ball out quick, hitting a man in stride, and his man making a play.
Edian Bada from Southlands Christian of Roland Heights.
8-yard carry, or 8-yard gain, rather.
Spotted at the 13. We'll call it 2nd and 3. Davis and Bada again. Darling is the quarterback. He drops. Swinging out here this time. Bada is going to. The ball is loose. I've got no signal yet of whether it's incomplete. Yes, incomplete. So, wow, that was a nice play by the Cougar defense. Let's see who came up.
It's going to be tough to figure from this angle, but, I mean, is that a backwards pass? Man, that is no.
I think that's forward. That was 15.
That's really good.
That was Darius.
That's really good diagnosis defensively, knowing where that ball is going to go and knowing where the play is going to go. And there's two guys there.
Yep, Vuka Brodov and Alonzo Reeves. Nice play. So brings up 3rd and 3. Now they go bunch set, double tight end, I formation. Davis, and he's hitting the backfield, and he'll go down. First guy through. That was 94, Chris Fainga. Or excuse me, Eric Banks. Eric Banks, who had a big game against Ventura last week. So the defensive line is playing very well for the Cougars.
Banks, Fanga had an unbelievable one-handed interception, if memory serves.
Yes. 4th, and the offense is on the field.
Yeah, you have to go for it here.
Drawing them off won't get you the first, but it'll get you to 4th and 1. So let's see. That's Mark Martin in the backfield along with Darling.
We saw Darling utilize a hard count earlier in this ball game that resulted in an offsides penalty for the Cougars.
And there's something there. Let's see if we had a timeout.
Play clock down, double zeros.
Timeout, Moorpark.
So Moorpark takes a timeout before the play clock goes down to 0. We'll take a timeout ourselves. Back in a moment.
Back to Cougar Stadium. 4th down for the Raiders. Up out at the 16. They need to get up near the 10. They're going to try a field goal. And here's the kick. It is up and no good. He hooked it left. So the defense holds after the onside kick that was recovered by Moorpark. But Cougars come away giving up no points. So that's got to be a big victory for them. Riley Garrett was 3 of 5 on field goals. Now he's 3 of 6.
Yeah, Garrett got a little spooked by the defensive penetration there on the line.
Still looking for Keelan White to come back in the ballgame, and there he is. So that's a good sign to see number 6 back in the game.
Yep.
So we got Brandon Pierce and Deshaun Holmes on the near side, and DeShazer and Jaron Pierce on the far side.
Well, White right now, 2 carries, 11 yards, but we saw him come off with a bit of an ailment. Bit of a bug first quarter.
Brito drops. He wants to throw, looks, fires, caught on the near side. That's Deshaun Holmes, and that'll be enough for the first down up beyond the 30, right at about the 31. Pretty easy pitch and catch there.
Too easy.
Deshaun Holmes, the leading receiver for the Cougars. over 500 yards receiving, averaging 18 yards a catch.
First catch went for 28 yards.
Again, split receivers.
Second catch tonight.
Burrito's going to give it to White. This time he barrels forward. Pick up about 5, so nice run by White. The Cougars come in averaging 200 yards on the ground, which is 5th in Southern California. So that's impressive, and that's how you win ball games.
It's a gaudy number.
Rush. Yeah.
Sure.
Second and 5. Showing blitz are the Raiders. Now they'll back off as Burrito gets another call. Burrito wants to throw. He does. Fires out here. You got Jaron Pierce. He might be right at the marker. Just a quick out from the slot.
See the replay here. Oh.
That ball is in a good spot.
That's in a great spot, and Pierce just needs to break one tackle, and he's off to the races.
So they'll call it a first down at the 41.
And he's pounding the turf, and he knew it.
8 minutes to go here in the first half. The Cougars lead 14-7 over Moorpark. Twin backs now. Keelan White and R.B. Marlowe. It's going to be White over the left side and looking for a block. He's able to turn it outside. First down and then some. He's on the sidelines. One man to beat. 20. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Keelan White.
Man, he gets the edge in a hurry. Let's watch the replay here. Gets it to the outside, and there is nobody in front of him.
Nice job of blocking out there by R.B. Marlowe.
Keelan White for 6. Now, there is a flag behind the play. Hold the phone.
Hold the phone. I see it now in the replay. That would, if this is against Cougars, that would negate a really nice run by Keelan White.
Yeah, 59-yard variety.
They're picking it up, I think. They didn't even tell us that they're picking it up, but that's touchdown Cougars.
Well, they're moving to a field goal position.
Oh, hands to the face on the defense.
We'll take it.
Absolutely. So Keelan White, after being sick for the last few series.
Yeah, number 6 puts up 6 for the Cougars.
59 yards, adding that average yards per carry, which is over 8, in his 8th touchdown on the season. Boy, he has just been spectacular this season, and nobody knew what they had in him. Oh, he missed it. UCB hooks it left, so he misses one.
UCB coming in had missed 3 on the season, I believe, 23 of 26. Was that correct?
Correct. Keelan White, along with R.B. Marlowe out of Lakeland Christian in Lakeland, Florida, and obviously very close friends, and talked to each other, came out here, and boy, Keelan White has stamped his name at that position this season. So UCB misses that one. 7:31 to go. The Cougars lead 20-7 over Moorpark. In a very important game, as we talked about, the Cougars having only played one game in the previous 20 days. And some tough teams coming out. They got Cerritos still to play and Bakersfield still to play. And
that Bakersfield game's going to be huge.
And Ventura still has to play Bakersfield. Yeah. Bakersfield's able to knock off Ventura, and the Cougars are able to knock off Bakersfield, and we've got a whole bunch of different ways this thing could go. UCB kicks is going to be deep with the penalty and out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Cougar defense, after giving up a touchdown earlier this quarter, they were able to the Raiders recovered the onside and had 1st and 10 at the Cougar 20 and came away with no points. So that's part of their struggles on the season.
Well, Joe, I wanted to rewind the week a little bit. Back on Thursday, October 19th, Just a great event. College of the Canyons Athletics Department hosted a fundamentals football camp, punt, pass, and kick challenge organized by Special Olympics Southern California and the Los Angeles Rams, and more than 50 Special Olympics athletes and coaches on hand here at Cougar Stadium taking part in a skills camp led by the COC football program.
I was here at practice, got to see some of that, and boy, the smiling faces, it just warms your heart to see them out. Oh, almost pick six. Sorry about that, but that was Vuka Brodov. But as we said, it was just I'm going to show the replay here.
Well, we'll see the replay here. Ooh.
Wow. He read it the entire way, just couldn't get his hands on it. But as you said, it was so neat to see the Cougar players and staff out here and putting smiling faces on those Special Olympic kids, and they had a great time, and really a neat thing to do in conjunction with the Rams.
Absolutely.
2nd and 10 now for Darling and the Raiders. Got Mark Martin in the backfield with him. Darling wants to throw. Has some pressure, steps up. He's going to get wrapped up, and he's going to go down.
Just nothing there, and the ball came out.
Chris Fainga.
Juice is underneath.
Juice is on it, but they're going to say he was down. So nice job with no blitz, just the defensive line getting the pressure.
Yeah, whistle blew before the ball came out. So I think that's a good call. I think the forward progress had been stopped there from Darling. Loss on the play, 3rd and 11 now.
Obvious passing situations. Let's see if the Cougars decide to try to blitz or they'll stick with the 4-man rush. KJ Latu looks like, no, they're going to drop and rush 4. And backside, boom. Darling goes down. Juice just missed the sack and the fumble. Incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
Juice adding a little mustard at the end of the play there gives Darling a little shove in the back. Luckily, he didn't get flagged there.
He dropped the snap. It wasn't a bad snap. He just dropped it. Not allowed Juice to get up there. And Juice is Noel Uwachukwu, who's having a fantastic season.
Yeah, Uwachukwu, one of the most physically imposing players on the defensive unit for Canyons.
John Aloma is your punter. And deep is Brandon Pierce and Deshaun Holmes. This kick's pretty good. It's going to be, I'm not sure why I let it bounce. But it doesn't really do much for Moorpark.
That's a returnable ball.
Absolutely.
That's something where you have to come up. We'll see it from the end zone cam here.
He backed off at the last second. Not sure why.
Yeah, a little bit of no man's land there. I can get why you would want to go into the face of danger, but
the long snapper that's a 42, the big guy coming at you full speed. So the Cougars will take over. 6:43 to go here in the second quarter. They lead 20-7. They'll take over at their own 32. Jalen Logan now is your running back. DeShazer in the game on the far side at a wideout. R.B. Marlowe in the backfield. Brandon Pierce and Deshaun Holmes on the near side. Pierce yet to see the ball. First game at wideout, or slot, I should say. Brito fires, going to the far sideline, and it's over the head of everybody, incomplete. That was good coverage out there.
Yeah, nothing really there, and Brito putting it out of harm's way with that cannon that he calls an arm.
DeShazer couldn't get much separation, and so it was probably a good thing that it was overthrown.
And here comes Hunter Schuessler. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of Hunter Schuessler. That kid is just an absolute matchup nightmare. Big brother played, he backed up Deshaun Watson at Clemson. Talked about that earlier in the season. Just a big-time football pedigree in that bloodline.
From Gwinnett County, Georgia, 6'4", 210-pounder. So 2nd and 10 for Brito. He'll drop again. Now he's got some pressure. Now he's going to run it. He's at 35-40. Up near the 47, 1st down Cougars.
It's a great job by Brito with the recognition. He knew very early on that there was a huge vacuum in the middle.
Right there.
Big hole. And Schuessler with a bit of a block extends the play, and Brito with a first.
So Schuessler will check out now as they move the change. 1st and 10 at the 46. Split backs again. Marlowe and Logan showing blitz of the Raiders. Logan trying to bounce outside. He slips and goes down. He'll lose a yard. So Logan did his best to avoid the first guy, but couldn't keep his feet.
Yeah, didn't do his best job of avoiding his own feet.
He just kind of overran himself.
Yep.
So that'll bring up second and 11.
He picked him up and then put himself down. Missed opportunity there because it looked like he had a bit of running room on the left side.
No backs. Here comes pressure. There's the screen to set up. Oh, and he had it. He overthrows Marlowe. And that was set up very nicely out there.
I mean, they had all kinds of green in front of them. And Brito just has to do a better job of executing that pass. Just a little bit more touch. Puts a little bit too much air under it.
Yeah, there was a lot of green out there. Third and 11.
Not only did he have green, he had like 3 blockers in front of him. Yeah. I mean, if that's a reception, that might be 6.
Yep. So to go back to Logan and twin receivers each side. Brito drops. Here comes a blitz again. Steps up. This time he's not going to get away, and down he goes.
Good push up front by the Raiders.
So sack for the Raiders by Taveas James.
Yeah, Brito just a little indecisive. He had a hole early, and that got bottled up very, very quickly.
So for the first time tonight, the Cougars will punt, and that is Travis Reiner, who's averaging just under 40 yards a kick. Excellent season so far for Reiner. And deep for the Raiders is number 20, and that is Vincent Corso. Kicked it away from him, and Corso's going to grab it, but fake it. Good kick by Reiner. It'll bounce back a little bit, but still be inside the 20. Up around the 13-yard line, or 12-yard line, and that's where the Raiders will take over with 4:32 to go. They trail 20-7. SoCal College Sports bringing you this game in conjunction with College of the Canyons football. Let's see if the Raiders have anything dialed up to get a couple first downs and try to keep their defense off the field. The winds have calmed quite a bit tonight, Mike. Looking at the flag.
Yeah, they were swirling early on. About 5, 6 o'clock. Flags were in full bloom.
Going to give it to Mark Martin. He's able to burrow his way forward up near the 20, just short of the 20. Clock runs. It'll bring up second and about 4.
I got to tell you, the last couple of weeks for us have been very quick games.
We like that. I'm
not going to complain.
No. And there's Davis. There's that Martin again. It was Martin again. First down Raiders. Up beyond the 30. No, now they're going to back it up to the 30.
I got to tell you, Joe, I think this defensive unit here for the Cougars looks a little gassed.
Could be. 4 down linemen. Darling will give it to Martin again. And again, he's able to bull forward for about 6 more.
And that assessment of them being gassed is spot on. Look, they overload the left side here, and that's where the run goes, and they still pick up about a 6-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, I think Alonzo Reeves, the linebacker, just overran it a bit.
Well, when you're tired, sometimes, made some head mistakes there.
Pick up a 6, second and 4 at the 36. Now they're going to swing it out here, and he overthrows his receiver. It was
Darling with the itchy trigger finger.
Yeah.
That one went awry.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 4 now.
Pass intended for Corzo, and Corzo had a little room in front of him.
So that does stop the clock with 3:17. If the Cougars are able to hold here, they could get the ball back with a decent amount of time. So this is kind of a big play for them. Trips to the near side. Darling's going to give it to Davis. He's over the right, and he'll have the first down. He's going to get to the sidelines. He's got Bobby Brown in front of him. He's able to run him out of bounds. But a nice pickup by Desmond Davis into Cougar territory at the 34.
What a great play call. Everybody thinking pass. No, we're going to go run. It's been very successful thus far. Huge gain on that one.
So
From the 36 in Raider territory down to the 33-yard line, Moorpark in business. Clock winding down here in the second quarter.
1st and 10. Bad snap between his legs, and he's just got to fall on it, and he does. So, wow, what an inopportune time for that.
Man, you talk about taking a shotgun to your foot. They do that just there.
Smart play by Darling not to try to pick it up.
Now, not with the speed in pursuit. You know, you got Juice, number 46 for the Cougars. And he's thinking 6 the other way.
Moves it all the way back to the 44. So now you've got 2nd and 21. Davis and Darling. Darling wants to throw. Here comes the pressure. Trying to throw the screen. Ooh, popped. So it was incomplete, in and out of the hands of Davis.
Got to be careful. I mean, that's bordering on a penalty of hitting a defenseless receiver.
Very close. Earl English providing some of the pressure on Darling.
Let's watch this again here at the end of the play.
Boom, right there, yeah.
Well, that's a good no flag. He hits him in the shoulder pad, and that's completely legal. Had he went for the head, that would have been a flag on the field.
3rd and 21 now. Now it's Mark Martin. Darting looks like he wants to go scrambling. Got pressure, fires over the middle, high over the head, almost. Oh. We had all kinds of blue shirts, but incomplete.
Well, it was 3rd and a mile. It looked like the intended receiver was Shadrick Lowry Jr. for the Cougars.
So the Cougars will get the ball back with some time and some timeouts. They just don't have it as field position was much better had they stopped him on the last 3rd down. Deep is Brandon Pierce and Jaron Pierce, no relation. I hope they field this instead of letting it bounce.
Always depends on the kick here. That's a good one.
Or at least fair catch. Brandon Pierce. And he's going to try to return. He's hit immediately, but that's okay. So it'll be inside the 10.
Man, he avoided a monster hit. Let's look at the replay here. Pierce goes a little matador on him, goes right in between the gap and does take a pretty good lick.
All right, so they'll take over. They got a long way to go. Ball spotted at the 8. But there's 1:59 to go, and the Cougars have 2 timeouts. Keelan White will check in. Pearson Holmes on the near side. Lazarick and Pierce on the far side for Andrew Brito, the freshman. Let's see if the Raiders bring some pressure. And they do. He's got to get away. Fires. And it's incomplete. Oh, we're going to get a late hit on the quarterback.
I think that's a good call. Let's watch the replay
shot
here.
To the head. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he hits him and then he takes him to the ground.
I mean, it wasn't late.
It was an immediate flag. I think it might have been an anticipation flag. Let's look at it one more time here on the replay.
I don't think that was late. I think maybe he took a shot to the head, but.
Well, he hits him here, and then
I don't know.
It's borderline.
Yep.
Hey, Cougars are at home. They're going to get the benefit of the call.
I don't know that that's a good call. I don't believe it was late, but the referee was right there. And as you said, he threw the flag immediately. So that's a big break for the Cougars. They'll move it out to the 23, 1st and 10. Might have a free play, so Brito's going to chuck it. Now he's going to scramble, and he takes a shot, and he'll go down.
Got to get rid of that.
Yep.
A couple times tonight, Brito's taking some pretty good hits when he didn't need to.
That one he gets up a little bit slow. He's taking some shots tonight, as he usually does.
Took a big shot in the Orange Coast game in that win.
Yeah, he's not afraid to really hold it. So 5 more yards will move it up. Still 1:41 to go. The Cougars lead 20-7.
Got Deshaun Holmes one-on-one.
Ball at the 28.
Here comes the safety. That's a good move.
Brito looks left, fires in the flat, got a man open. That's caught. That's Brandon Pierce, I believe.
Yep.
And they said, watch this guy when he gets the ball. And here he goes. Up near the 50, finally driven out of bounds. His first catch on the season as a wideout, and he makes it a nice gain into Raider territory.
Well, remember, Pierce also a kick returner, so we know he's very good in the open field, and we see some of that dynamic athletic ability right there.
It's a bounce back from San Jose State. And so it's into Raider territory at the 49.
23-yard catch for Pierce.
1st and 10. Brito again looking. He fires, and that's going to be caught here on the near sideline. I think that's Deshaun Holmes, but he's driven out of bounds.
Yeah, you're going to keep the clock moving.
Oh, wow, his progress.
Well, you stopped his forward progress. That's the correct call. And now you got to burn a timeout. He's got to do a better job of getting to the sideline. You see Coach Sayasenda in the ear of Deshaun Holmes, and look, you got to be smarter than that.
That's a bad spot, though, Mike. That ball was caught beyond the 40. I don't know if we have the replay or not. That ball was caught beyond the 40. It should be a first down. Look where that ball's caught. Wow. The ball's caught the 42.
Right, but he reestablishes at about the 40, so that's why they give it to him at the 39.
Yeah, or the initial contact, because he didn't get hit until
he doesn't get hit because
right.
he catches the ball, but then he reestablishes, and that's why he did not get forward progress beyond the first down marker.
And I get it. He had to come back for the ball, and his momentum
right.
carried him. I get that. But usually they give you that ball where you catch it.
Well, he's trying to make a play there, but clock winding down. You only got 2 timeouts. You're in the 2-minute drill. You got to get out of bounds.
Minute 11 to go. 20-7. The Cougars lead. They're facing a 2nd and 1. Maybe you want to take a shot here. It'll be Lazarick and Brandon Pierce on the far side. Jaron Pierce and Deshaun Holmes on the near side, and Keelan White in the backfield.
Mike Nahar, Coach Vic on camera tonight. Cameras.
Here comes the blitz. Brito fires, got a man open, and it's caught, and that's going to be a touchdown. Cougars, Brandon Pierce, impact player.
That's pretty nice.
He just ran by his guy.
Hasn't played an offensive snap all year, and he's got 2 catches in the first half. One of them goes for a very long touchdown. Chalk up 6 for the Cougars.
Wow, so the Raiders were blitzing, so they had to go to man coverage, and that's just an overmatch. There's no chance that guy's going to stay with Pierce.
No, Pierce in a safety, that is advantage Cougars every day of the week.
And that's a great call and a great read by Brito to see that coverage. And you
kick
see he missed
again, no good.
Wow.
So 26-7.
That was a quick score after getting the ball back.
Very quick.
Yeah. And that's been the story of the Raiders season, I think. Can't get the stops when they need them.
I'd like to get an official time on that drive.
It was 1:59. I think it started at 1:59. What about the time? How long did it take? We got it back with 1:59. 50, that's about right. Yeah,
wow.
It was 1:59. There's 4 left.
All right, so we got 51-second drive.
55-second drive.
55-second.
And they went 92 yards in 55 seconds. That's impressive.
Well, I mean, we've talked about it before. Well, and that was aided by a penalty.
Two penalties, offsides and the late hit. But hey, you still have to take advantage, and the Cougars did.
Well, you can't look the gift horse in the mouth.
No. So let's see what they try to do here with 1:04 to go. Usibi, it's a pooch on the near side. Nobody there. That's a live ball. They're going to scoop it up. And now great coverage down there.
Really, really good job.
Khalid Taylor. So maybe that's their new design. Kick it short, give your coverage team time. Yeah, great job by Taylor.
Well, you got 2 timeouts at your disposal. You're down by 19. I think you have to make something happen here, or at least make an effort.
And you got to be careful, though. You throw a pick, So Darling.
Better go out on your sword than get bled out.
Mark Martin in the backfield with him. Fires out here in the flat. That's caught and then immediately out of bounds.
6-yard gain.
Little short pitching catch. That's Cameron Prentice Brown. We'll stop the clock. 57 seconds.
From El Camino High School, Woodland Hills.
2nd and 4. Trips to the far side. Darling fires into double coverage, overthrows everybody, incomplete. So Taylor over the top and Kajel Perry underneath.
Yeah, Berardi.
That's what they needed on
the intended
Berardi.
target.
Yeah, because he's burned him a couple times, so good idea to double him up. Although he's got the size advantage on both of those defenders.
Berardi listed at 6'1". He looks a lot bigger.
He
than
does.
That.
He's slender, but yeah, he looks. I thought he was about 6'3".
Well, he's a young man. Maybe he had a growth spurt between weeks.
Right. Here goes Mark Martin right up the middle, spinning out of tackles. Finally brought down by Khalid Taylor. So that'll be a first down for the Raiders up to the 46.
Timeout Raiders. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's the – they stopped the clock momentarily.
To set the chains. So they're going to run it again. This time, not much doing there. But the clock is running, so this is not good for the Raiders.
And now comes a timeout.
All right. We'll come back. We'll finish up. 28 seconds to go. SoCal College Sports, COC Football. We'll be right back. Welcome back. 28 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Cougar Stadium on the campus of College of the Canyons. Joe Soriano, Mike Cepeda with you. Cougars lead the Raiders 26-7. 2nd and 5 for the Raiders. Tanner Darling is the quarterback. He wants to fire. Pressured. Fakes it. He's going to run it. He's going to have the first down. He's out of bounds up near the 40-yard line. So nice play by Darling to keep the drive alive.
Darling with some pretty good feet.
Yeah.
Making it look like he's gliding out there.
Exactly. Up to the 41 of the Cougars. 20 seconds to go. 1st and 10.
I'm a big guy. I never had that type of dynamic to my stride.
Me neither. What do you do here, Mike? Do you take a shot? Do you try to set up for a field goal?
I think you have to try and take a shot.
And they're going to run it. Interesting call. And that's going to go. Oh, he breaks the one tackle, goes Desmond Davis, and then he's banged forward by Dorian Gerald. But the clock runs, and now a timeout, Moorpark. Can we look at that again? Ooh, who's down? Is that No.
Fanga?
94. That's Banks.
Banks.
Eric Banks.
Ooh.
Oh, he ran into his Dorian Gerald, took out 2 guys.
Look at this one more time. Gerald comes back, and Banks also got popped.
Oh, wow.
He was popped and didn't see it.
No.
And usually it's the one you don't see coming.
He was rattled, but he's up.
That can rattle you a little bit, yeah.
He's up, so that's a good sign. But now 1 second left for the Raiders. They're out of field goal range, so I guess you just take a shot in the end zone.
Yeah, I wouldn't exactly call clock management on this final drive here, the first half, stellar. But, at the same time, you talked about it. You don't want to throw a pick here or a pick six. Darling has been we've seen him almost get burned a couple times in that regard. So already dug yourself a pretty deep hole here in the first half. Margin of error not very high here for the Raiders.
They probably like Berardi here.
I like Berardi. Probably want to bring a safety over the top there. And we see just that as Lowry heads back.
Bobby Brown on the far side. They're probably Looking to try and buy him some time.
There's been a bit of a hole in the seam here, so watch out in the middle of the field.
Back to 13. So you might have time for 2.
No
show
timeouts.
Press on him. So we're going to go the far sidelines and over the head. Incomplete. That'll stop it at 7.
The pass just not there from Darling.
You know, I wonder, Mike, if they feel like Darling, he may not have the arm to get it to the end zone
Maybe.
from here.
Could be.
So we're going to find out right now because that's really all they have
Yeah, I
time
mean,
to do.
he pop flied that one, but a lot of air under it.
Yep.
And too much air.
So Berardi will be here on the near side. And again, you know he's going to be double covered, so you just throw it up and hope for a jump ball or a PI.
Yep.
But pressure will always kill that. So, well. All right, so that worked. Up near the 28-yard line with 4 seconds. And let's see if they try the field goal unit. Yes, they will. This is Garrett.
Yeah, well, we saw Garrett with a pretty good leg early on. He just directionally has not been there. But let's see if the Raiders can get 3 points on the board.
He's already missed 1. 3 out of 6 on the season. There'll be a 45-yarder. I'm going to guess that's probably out of his normal range, but
What's his long? 42 maybe?
45 is the long.
Okay.
So right here. And we're going to ice him, Coach I.
Well, hey, you got one left. Why not?
As we said, the wind has died down considerably.
So Coach I said going to throw a little Cool Whip on it.
Yeah. So the Cougars lead 26-7, 4-2 overall, 0-1 in conference.
Good. We'll have some halftime stats for you. An impressive first half for the offense, particularly Andrew Brito. Be sure to check out our channel on YouTube, SoCal College Sports 1. You have a YouTube app-enabled device. You got a Roku TV, you got an Apple TV, you got an Xbox One.
Yeah,
Roku.
You threw out the Roku.
Hey,
wow.
You know what? Hey, we try to diversify our portfolio in every which way here, John.
I like it.
Mike Cepeda, Joyce Soriano with you on the call. I was with Jeff earlier today at Santa Monica.
You've got a lot of partners, so I don't blame you at all.
Well, we had 2 games today. Earlier today, we saw the 55-0. A blowout earlier today. Ventura over Santa Monica. I was on for the first half of that one.
So here's Riley Garrett from 45 yards out. Got the distance.
That's in.
He got it. Garrett matches his season long with a 45-yard field goal as the clock goes to 0 to cut the lead 26-10 as we go to half.
Watch it one more time.
Good job by Garrett.
Yeah, plenty of leg. Well, that's a big-time leg and able to find the mark. Now it's a 2-possession ball game here for the Raiders. So first half that was pretty abysmal. Doesn't look as bad on paper when you look at the scoreboard. 26-10, we head in at the half. You are watching SCFA Football Week 8 here on SoCal College Sports. Halftime here from College of the Canyons. Mike Cepeda joined alongside Henry Flanagan, native of Australia. He's a redshirt freshman for the Cougars coming up in the basketball season. And Henry, one of the reasons why we bring you on, one of the reasons why we do this here at SoCalCollegeSports.com is because you have an opportunity to watch remotely. And right now, we understand that your dad Marshall's watching from afar.
Yeah, he is. He's watching from Sydney, Australia right now. And I'm excited for the team this year, and I'm really happy for the progress that we've made. And so even though I'm a redshirt, I'll be there to support him, and we're working pretty hard in the preseason and summer, so I'm really excited for them.
So you're about what, 6'6", 6'7"?
Yeah.
6'6", 6'7", stretch 4.
Yeah.
Who do you tailor your game after in the NBA?
Honestly, I follow the Australians, mostly Andrew Bogut.
Yeah.
Andrew Bogut's a really big fan of mine, and I'm really excited for him. He's having a good season so far with the Lakers, and I'm really happy to follow his progress, and even though it's had too many injuries, but it's good.
Yeah, Andrew Bogut, former first-round player, just out of Utah, I believe.
Yeah.
Very good player. Obviously, injuries a bit of a factor in his career arc, but one of those players. Well, every time he's on the floor, seems to make a big difference. And for the Lakers, doing a pretty good job so far. They got the win last night. Lonzo Ball with a big game. Have you had a chance to talk with Andrew?
Not yet. No, I'm really hoping to get an opportunity.
Is it a pretty tight-knit community from a basketball perspective? I know it's huge down there.
Yeah, it's big. It's not as big as here. The intensity and level is it's definitely a lot harder here. And going to practice and everything is a lot difficult than back home. It's a lot laid back home. So I'm really thankful for the opportunity that's given to me.
Yeah, so Patty Mills, I believe, is Australian.
Yep.
Dante Exum.
Yep.
Exum, and then
Ben
Bogut. Simmons, that's right. Simmons.
Yeah.
Stud.
Ben Simmons' dad trained me in 2011, which was awesome. So it was a great opportunity just before he went pro. So
yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Bit of a beast. What was it like playing against him?
His dad coached me.
Did you get a chance to work with Ben?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, still.
Yeah,
any chance to work out with the Simmons family, I'm sure probably going to add a little bit to your game. Well, Henry, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
and,
thank you.
Feel free to take a shout out or make a shout out to
I just want to shout out to my
parents
and family back home, and really thankful for the opportunity they've given to me. And thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.
We might have College of the Canyons later in the year for basketball up at Antelope Valley. That is still in the works, trying to hash out all the details there. But if we do, we know you won't be on there, but we might see you in the stands for sure. So
good.
that's it's within relative proximity. Henry, again, thank you again for
thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you for the time, and
no
we'll be back in a moment here on SoCal College Sports.
Thank you.
Halftime here from College of the Canyons, 26-10. Canyons with a 16-point lead on top of Moorpark. And I'm joined alongside Jesse Munoz, Sports Information Director here at College of the Canyons, and wanted to talk about a special event this past Thursday for COC.
Absolutely, guys. We had the pleasure of hosting Special Olympics Southern California along with the Los Angeles Rams for a just an amazing event out on the field under the lights at Cougar Stadium. About 50 Special Olympics athletes came out, had the opportunity to work with some of our players. Guys, it was an amazing night. I told the organizers it was by far the most fun I had all week, seeing the faces not only on the athletes but on our players. And if you can see the photos here now, they were just excited as the athletes. Lots of hugs, lots of high fives, a little bit of in-zone dancing in between the drills. Snapchat videos, you name it. Our guys loved it. They loved it. It was a great night for everybody.
It's part of the community outreach here at College of the Canyons, and one of the things that really separates College of the Canyons from other programs. Doing a lot of work throughout the community. Obviously, Special Olympics Southern California coming through this past Thursday, and then working with the Rams.
Sure. It's something we strive to be a part of. We are a community college. We want to support the community that supports us. So Cougars in the community, anytime we have a chance to do that, put our players out on the front lines, let them get some face-to-face time with the people that come out and support us week to week. It's a win-win situation for everybody.
Well, Jesse, I appreciate you coming on, talking a bit about it, and back with the second half coming up in just a bit. SoCalCollegeSports.com's continuing coverage, Week 8, Moorpark trailing Canyons. Back in a moment.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get ready for the second half kickoff. Tonight's ball game between the Cougars and the Moorpark Raiders. Joe Soriano, Mike Cepeda with you. And the Cougars come out at halftime leading 26-10. The Raiders scoring a field goal just as time expired before the half on a 45-yard field goal by Riley Garrett to match his long for the season. But the Cougars, having won the toss, had deferred, so they'll get the ball here to start the second half. And Mike, a little bit of a letdown for the defense, I guess, giving up that field goal, but they have an opportunity to go back down here and get something going here.
Yeah, well, I mean, if anything, how about kudos to Moorpark at the end, mustering those 3 points and making this a two-possession ball game. But I think you and I touched on it a little bit towards the end of the first half. They needed halftime because they were starting to get gassed.
Now another short kick here by the Raiders this time. And fielded by the up. That's Kajel Perry, the linebacker, but he's going to get wrapped up pretty quick up near the 30. So good job by the kickoff coverage for Moorpark. Let's quickly talk about some of those first half stats, Mike. And the thing that jumps out to me is Andrew Brito was very efficient. He came into the ball game right at 50% completion percentage, which is, you want to see it in the low 60s is great.
Yeah.
But tonight, 12 out of 15 for 204 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, the point of emphasis, coming into last week off of the bye was let's up the completion percentage, and I think that hurt them a little bit, obviously, at Ventura in the loss. But tonight, like you said, 12 of 15, very sharp so far, 204 yards and the 2 touchdowns. And how about Keelan White? Came off after the first quarter, did not play much of that first quarter because he was ill. Comes out, what does he do? 4 carries, 75 yards.
Brito wants to go deep. Oh, it's caught on a great adjustment. It looked like the ball was going to be thrown out of bounds. That's Leroy DeShazer. Wow, what a great adjustment he made.
Look at this bomb by Brito right on the boundary.
And look at this. Great, almost a little push off there. And DeShazer takes it down inside the 10-yard line to the 7.
See the replay one more time.
Great angle.
What a dart.
Almost like he was out of bounds, too.
Yeah, I think there could have been a case made that he might have hit the boundary.
So Brito, he's going to throw again. He wants to. He's got time. He's going to looking. Now he's going to scramble left. Fires, and it's caught, but incomplete. For in and out of the hands. It looked like DeShazer might have grabbed it, but out of his hands, incomplete.
And it looked like the makings of something that could have been a completion, but Brito trying to extend the play.
And
DeShazer here. Yeah, that just goes right through his hands.
Yeah, that's why I thought he caught it from up here. DeShazer, I believe, caught a touchdown against Ventura last week. So he's becoming a bigger part of this offense. 2nd and goal at the 7. Swing it out here. That's R.B. Marlowe looking for a block. He tries to cut back and wrapped up and maybe up to the 6. So a nice open field tackle there.
Yeah, Hayden Galvin, strong safety, sophomore, 6'3", 195, Oaks Christian. And, well, doing his high school program proud with that tackle.
Coached well, I'm sure. And so the Cougars now facing a 3rd and goal. The Raiders give up the big play, but now they've seemed to buckle down a little bit these next 2 plays. 3rd and goal from the 6.
Joe, what's it called? Bend but don't break.
Yes. Brito fires in the far corner. He's going for DeShazer, and it's in and out of his hands, incomplete. So knocked away again. So the Raiders come up big on 3 straight plays, and that's going to bring on, well, let's see if Coach I, now they're going to bring on UCB in the field goal unit.
Well, UCB's missed 2 extra points tonight, so.
Yeah, he's far from automatic tonight.
That's really good coverage there by Matthew Drake for Moorpark.
Actually, it's not going to be UCB. It's a new kicker. It is number 63. That is Ryan Sinclair out of Canyon. So they're going to give him a shot. This will be a 23-yard attempt. And I don't know that he has an attempt so far this season.
Look at those locks, though.
Sinclair, he got it up. He hooked it left. That's going to be no good. So the kicking game hurting the Cougars a bit tonight. That's 5 points they've left out on the field.
Well, you see it right off the bat, just shanking it left.
And he stutter stepped, too. He hesitated, and that threw off all of the timing. And no good. And he's 0 for 1 then on the season. But, wow. So the Raiders got to be happy. Bend but don't break.
Bend a little bit too much on the big play, but obviously, yeah, if you're Moorpark, you'll take it. No points on the board on the opening drive of the second half for the Cougars, especially with I want to say that went 60+.
Right. So Raiders will take over at their 20. 13:32 to go in the third quarter. They trail 26-10. Mark Martin in the backfield with Tanner Darling. And now timeout because they have some personnel issues.
Just can't do it. First offensive possession of the second half, and you take a timeout on your opening play?
Hey, Mike, let's go back real quick. At halftime, I had a chance to chat with Coach Lyon, Chuck Lyon, who's the Dean of Athletics here at COC. And, Jesse talked about it again, but wow, just what a neat experience. Coach Lyon said it's one of the funnest things he's done in a while. He said the COC players really got involved and, just created a great bond with some of the kids from the Special Olympics. And he said there were so many smiles and high fives and hugs. He said a great experience and a neat thing for the community outreach that the college does. And they were so happy to do it, to be involved with the Rams in the Special Olympics.
Something you're not going to see in the box score is the growth of the character and just, the human development of all the players that were involved. And just kudos to the program, the entire athletic department here for College of the Canyons, helping put that together along with the Rams.
Coach Iacenda, he cut his practice a little bit short. And, just a great all-around effort by everybody. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Now they're going to fake it and want to throw it out there on the far side. Ooh, hit and knocked down. Great open field tackle. That was Darius. I got to remember his last name. Vuku Bradov.
Number 35.
Nice open field tackle.
Or number 15.
Number 15, yes, 15. So that'll bring up second and.
Was a flag on the field?
Oh, there was.
Are they going to decline it?
Well, they're marching.
They're walking it back.
Take it. Wow. So back to the 10, I should say.
The call was an illegal chop block. So back it up to the 10-yard line.
So 1st and 20. The fake run. They're going to run to Martin. He's hit by Alonzo Reeves. A couple other blue-shirted defenders. Bangs his way up for about 6.
Still a pretty good push up front. Better diagnosis by the defense, but Martin having himself a game.
Yes, he is. He runs hard.
Yeah. Well, he had 5 carries for 44 yards, averaging almost 9 yards a carry in that first half. Keelan White, we talked about the gaudy numbers for him, despite being sick earlier in that first half.
Right.
4 carries, 75 yards, and a long touchdown.
And we haven't seen the end of him tonight.
We have not.
2nd and 14 now for the Raiders. Darling's going to fake it, fires out here on the near side, looking for a block, gets one, finally brought down.
Corzo on the reception. Pretty good yak there. And it's going to make this 3rd and manageable here for the Raiders.
Bonte Freeman on the tackle. So, yeah, this is a manageable 3rd and 7. Spotted at the 24. They need to get up to the 31. 4-man front again for the Cougars. Looked like Reeves wanted to blitz. Let's see if he comes again. And here he comes on a delay, but he's got pressure. But Darling able to scramble out, and he'll be short, banged out of bounds.
No, he fell forward. I think
you're
he's
right.
past the marker.
You're right.
He needs the 30. He gets the 31. Move the chains.
Nice job by Darling. As you said, he's pretty light on his feet.
Yeah, he hits the opening in a hurry. And look at that dive forward.
Took a shot, but
he's a gamer.
Laid himself out, as we've seen Brito do several times.
Indeed.
1st and 10 at the 31.
Bradley Canepa, the fullback.
Offset I. Under center is Darling. In turn, he's going to give it. There's that's Davis. He's at the 40, bang, and then he barrels his way up.
Joe, I want you to watch this block by Canepa here. Massive collision as Canepa just stifles a linebacker in the hole. And, man, that is an impressive run. Good play design and great execution.
That was Freeman.
Well, like you said, we don't see a lot of that power eye or off eye set here at the college level.
Anywhere, really, anymore.
Yeah. I mean, unless you have the line to make that happen.
And a fullback like that.
That helps.
Darling wants to throw. He looks left. He's caught on the near sideline, right on the marker. That's Corso. He'll be short of the first.
Canepa, again, look at the block. Look at the time that he's going to blind for Darling. Gets thrown out of the way at the end of the play. But, I mean, hey, he gets in the way. He gets the job done. It's a positive play.
Exactly.
2nd and 3.
Right at midfield is the mark. Again, offset eye. Again, a run play. This time, bang, Davis goes down. And that was Juice again for a loss. Tackle for a loss.
Man, Juice gets there in a hurry, huh?
Yes, he does. Quick off the ball.
Who do you got at 40, Dorian Gerald or Juice?
Ooh. That's a tough one. Dorian's got those strides. He's got really long strides. I think Juice may be a hair quicker, but tough call.
Juice probably faster out of the blocks. I think in a 40, I think Juice gets him, but it's close.
Just I wouldn't tell Dorian that.
I'm gonna get a text or a call later in the week saying, "Hey, come to practice on Thursday. I want to show you how fast I am."
You know that.
I could run back in the day, but I mean, I pull a hamstring if I run 10 yards.
3rd and 6 for the Raiders. Back at their 47. Darling drops, looks forced out of the pocket. Now he throws and into coverage. And did he catch that one-handed? No, incomplete.
Ball pops out there. That's
Good
a terrific
coverage.
effort. But, yeah, the coverage pretty good. Matlock, the intended receiver.
We'll bring up 4th down. And it looks like the punt unit. Wow.
That's a pretty good throw there from Darling.
Yeah.
I mean, the throw is right in the breadbasket. Matlock just can't come up with it. It's a tough catch, no doubt. But
Jaron Pierce and Brandon Pierce deep to receive the punt.
Darling, a sophomore QB from Simi Valley. Fake.
There's fake. Got the up back, and he's going to have more than enough for the first down. Is that Martin? He's all the way up into around the 25-yard line. That was Mark Martin from the up back spot.
And they just cashed the Cougars asleep here.
Yes.
Cougars going through the motions. And that is a perfect play call here. You're down by 2 scores. Just what the doctor ordered here if you're Moorpark and the Raiders in business at the 25-yard line of the Cougars.
They got it. You know, they've had quite a bit of success running the football with Mark Martin. Let's see if they go back to that. That offset eye.
And why not? You keep powering away.
Now they go to Desmond Davis and back to the shotgun for Darling. Looked like some of the receivers didn't realize the offense was supposed to be on the field. We got some movement. They're going to get Davis. He's got a big hole over the right. He's still going up inside the 20. Goes Desmond Davis for a nice pickup.
Well, you get the big fake there in a position of the field where I think a fake isn't out of the question.
No.
You have to be a little bit more on your toes from the special teams perspective of Canyons.
Yeah, you're 1-5 and you're kind of in this game.
You're playing with house money.
You got to make your own opportunities, and they did there.
You're free rolling the second half here. This would be a massive upset if it happens.
Darling 2nd and 4. Davis again tries to cut back, but holes were filled.
Better by the defense. Good convergence.
Eric Banks in on that tackle.
See the replay here. And that is just good discipline. Everybody staying home, making a play.
So another big 3rd down. Just inside the 20 at the 19. That scary Cougar coming out of the PA system. All right,
and they got a new sound effect here.
Yeah, that's great. Trips to the near side.
I think we need to put that on the broadcast. What do you think
There
here,
you
Joe?
go. I like it. He's going to swing it out to Davis. Boom! Knocked down. Alonzo Reeves just blows it up.
Let's see this replay.
Number 18, Reeves. He's had him the whole way. Great job of reading and reacting and wrapping up. Great tackle.
And you're in the diagnosis very early, and Reeves gets there and bam, on the deck.
The leading tackler for the Cougars. So they're going to – I like the call. I mean, I think you got to – although your guy kicked a 45-yarder not long ago. Now they're going to think about it. So Mike Stewart, the Moorpark College coach, is on the
Stewart's going to get an
field,
unsportsmanlike.
and he's going to get an unsportsmanlike. I don't know what has
Is
got
he
his ire.
arguing defenseless receiver?
Tough to say from here, but he is hot, and he's going to get 15. That doesn't help his team when you had a 4th and 6 or 7. Now you're going to have –
Well, he's being told to get off the field here. We're looking at the replay.
and that might be why he got the flag, not so much for what he said, but the fact that he was 10 yards onto the field.
Well, something tells me that there might have been a couple of 4 letters sprinkled into the vernacular, and in addition to being on the field, it's the right call.
But let's be honest, there's a lot of those. Although there's a new rule this year about profanity and those kind of things. So you're right. It could be a combination of both. But either way, you got to be better. That's not a smart play. Now you've taken your team.
You're taking points off of the board. You go from 4th and 6. Now it's 4th and 21.
And you're out of field goal range now. So what do? You're going to now you got to pooch kick it or go for it and give them even better field position.
Are you out of field goal range?
Oh, well, they're going to mark this. He's at the it'll be a 54 yarder.
It'd be a 53, 54-yarder.
I don't think that kid's got that leg. That
Well,
45.
it was a 45-yard, and I think he had about 10 more yards.
No, I don't think so. I'm going to disagree with you on that one.
It might be right on the crossbar.
Oh, they recalled it. They waved it off.
They picked up the flag?
He just had an explanation that there was something that the officials didn't pick up on. That's exactly what he said, and there was no unsportsmanlike.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because it was likely an unsportsmanlike because of what you talked about with the new rule. If I'm Coach Iacenda,
yeah, he's not.
Now I'm in the ear of an official.
Yeah.
What are you doing over there?
Wow, that's got to be a first. So now you do have a very.
He might have been wrong, but Coach Stewart might have gone the wrong way about it.
But the
flag should still be enforced.
So whatever you did, it worked for him, and now you got instead of a 54-yard attempt, you've got a 38-yard attempt.
Well, apparently, in addition to a training staff, they have a lawyer staff on the sideline for Moorpark.
Coach I doesn't seem to be too bothered by it. So here's Riley Garrett, who hit a 45-yarder just before half. This one will be from 38. It's a low liner, but it squeaks. Nope, he missed it. And a late flag comes in.
Uh-oh.
It's getting a little chippy out there.
Well, wait a minute. The white shirts are going back onto the field.
If it's on COC, this could be a first down.
Is this going to be early movement, or was somebody lined up in the neutral zone? This would be...
Or a leaping call. Remember, they got him on the leaping call last time.
Well, if it's a 5-yard variety, then it's going to be 4th and 1, and I think you go for it.
Personal foul.
Leaping again. Oh. Well, this drive is now resurrected.
Multiple times.
Oh.
All right, so the Cougar D has to stay on the field here, and they're going to give the Raiders a first down all the way up to, if there's any benefit out of it, it's at just outside the 10. So they've got a long way to go. Well, they can still get a first. So
defense been out there for a long time here, Joe.
They have. 7:16 to go here in the third quarter.
And it's been the run game, and, well
you think
Canepa back into the ball game in the power set.
Double tight end. Tight end left. They're going to give it to Martin, and he's hit by Reeves. And Darius made the first contact. Vukubratov, and then Alonzo Reeves finished it. So a nice play there. But let's go back to the Cougar first drive of the third quarter. They get the long play, and then they get down and can't punch it in and come with a missed field goal, no points.
Yeah, the theme really of the third quarter has been missed opportunities for the Cougars. 0 points on the board, despite having a play over 60 yards.
Alonzo Reeves just took himself out with a calf cramp, so they're working on him on the sidelines. And now it's 2nd and 8. for Darling and the Raiders. He wants to throw. He wants to go left. The ball is up, and it's caught.
Wow.
That's touchdown Raiders.
What
Wow.
a catch and what a
That's
throw.
Corso. Yeah, exactly. What a catch and what a throw. Wow, what a change of events here, Mike.
You want to talk about dropping a dime. We'll see that one more time here on the main shot. Corso.
DeAndre Henderson is the defender, and he
Look at him lay
just,
out for it. Man, that's just textbook.
and Henderson, there was too much separation there.
Yeah.
He never locked up, never got hip to hip,
They're going for 2.
and they are going to go for 2. Cut this thing to 8. Darling's going to try to run. Then he throws, and he throws it away. So no good on the conversion. So that'll keep the lead at 10 for the Cougars, 26-16, 6:28 to go in the third quarter.
Well,
So
Canyon's going to be kicking themselves this week. The whole team might be rolling the field on Wednesday.
I still wish I could have heard the explanation for picking up the unsportsmanlike.
Well, you know what? Regardless of whether the coach was right or not, he might have been right, but the infraction should still stand.
That makes sense to me.
He was still on the field, or he likely uttered a 4-letter.
Right.
And like you said, based on the rule, what was the rule? I don't know. We don't have a microphone on that side of the field, but if something was uttered to the effect of a 4-word, and he was on the field,
now,
that's clearly a flag, whether you're right or wrong on the explanation.
Coach I is giving a big earful to the white hat now on the near sideline. I won't assume about that same play because he is hot as well. Well, you can't take him off, so it's a done deal. But I'd love to get the explanation on how that happened.
I'd like to know what happened, but 26-16 Raiders within striking distance, 6:28 remaining here in the third. And we have a ball game. This is not a blowout.
Yes, we do.
And I think coming into this ball game, I think you and I probably anticipated this could have been a blowout, and early on it certainly seemed that way.
26-7, yep.
But the Cougars have let their foot off the gas, and here comes an onside kick.
Recovered, nice job there. 42 for the Cougars. That is Brody Padilla.
Didn't get the bounce that they did on the first onside kick.
They didn't. And Padilla had thoughts of maybe trying to return that,
Yep.
if you notice. He didn't go down.
Completely agree.
But great field position for the Cougars at the 48 of the Raiders. I look for this offense to really go for something here, try to make a point. That although you're close, Moorpark, we intend to kind of finish you. Well, even better field position.
And remember, everybody, if you have any friends or family that might want to watch this game, you can watch the archive copy on our channel on YouTube, SoCal College Sports 1. You can also go to our website, www.socalcollegesports.com.
Keelan White in the ball game. If I'm the Cougars, I give the Raiders a healthy dose of that young man,
Agreed.
number 6.
Completely agree.
Split receivers on both sides. All right, he's going to throw. Pressure. Going to try to get out to his left. Now he wants to throw. He does, and it's caught on the far sideline. I think that's Lazarick.
Yeah, Lazarick.
And it is with the reception.
Fourth catch.
Nice job. Third. Nice job, Lazarick, keeping working the sidelines. Move it up to the 30-yard line for a first down.
Yeah, let's look at this work here, keeping the play alive for his quarterback, and we'll see him come back.
Nice job.
And he tiptoed the sideline. That's a terrific job of footwork by Lazarick.
Got some movement up front at the snap of the ball. There was contact, but not sure who initiated.
5 going the wrong way.
No, it's going to go on the defense.
Wow.
So,
okay, so there was contact made by the lineman
yes.
of Moorpark, resulting in the early movement.
Move it up to the 25. Deshaun Holmes and Jaron Pierce on the near side. Lazarick and R.B. Marlowe on the far side. There's Keelan White. He's over the left side looking for a little bit of a hole. Barrels forward. Be right short of the mark. Bring up second down.
You know what's great about Keelan White? He doesn't need that big of a hole.
No, he doesn't.
He's a big guy.
He's a big guy, but he somehow seems to slide through.
Yeah, he knows how to get small in the hole and explode out.
And it's not often that the first guy will bring him down.
No. Very good after first contact.
So 2nd and 1.
Watch for a shot to the end zone here.
Just outside the 20 to 21.
Deshaun Holmes one-on-one, near side.
Going to be Keelan White. He'll have enough for the first. Turns the corner at the 10.
Oh.
And they'll catch him early. He's actually out at the 13.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No. You talked about it a little bit earlier. We feel like the Cougars have a little more team speed. So if you can utilize that in the outside lanes out in space, that it should benefit them.
Yeah, power has not necessarily worked to their advantage, but yeah, getting the edge has certainly paid dividends tonight. We saw the big run earlier by Keelan White, 59 yards.
White's lined up to the right of Brito. They're showing blitz. Here they come. Brito wants to throw. He's going to slide up to his left. Going to run. He's at the 10. We got a flag down. I think it's going to come back.
It's coming back.
Tough break. That would have been first down. Would have been first and goal.
This is going to go against Rockwell.
He's getting the start in place of injured Miguel Garcia.
Shout out to the Garcia family, always chiming in every week, giving us a shout out. We always like to return the favor.
I also want to give a shout out to the Crater family, Coach Matt Crater, his family listening, and we appreciate that as well. Anybody else listening, if you want to give us a comment over on the YouTube channel, leave us a comment there. We'll give you a shout out. We appreciate everybody tuning in.
Yeah, how about on Twitter as well, at SoCal College SPO. Feel free to chime in. Tell us how we're doing. Good or bad? We like criticism.
Oh, no. 1st and 20. They're going to back it up to the...
Well, you have to have a thick skin in this business here, Joe.
23-yard line. Brito rolls to his right. Looking, fires. Got a man inside, but the ball floats out of bounds. He was looking for Deshaun Holmes.
How about this block by Keelan White? Watch this block here, Joe. On Richard Watkins. Watkins a big boy.
Oh, on the backside.
Watch this.
Great.
Watkins is 6 foot 325.
Wow. That's what you're saying.
And Keelan White looked like he held his own pretty good. Let's watch it one more time here.
I mean, that's his responsibility to protect the backside. Boom. That's all it took.
Pretty good.
2nd and 20. No backs. Trips to the near side. Marlowe in motion. Now he sets up. Brito wants a throwback. He's got a screen with Lazarick. Breaks one tackle at the 20, and out near the original line of scrimmage, up near the 13, goes Ethan Lazarick, who's having his biggest game of the season.
How about Lazarick? What a nifty move. His blocker fell down trying to set up this screen out here. Bird falls down. Lazarick
picks up,
makes a step.
9 or a little short of 10. 3rd and 10. Schuessler was in, but now he checks out. Lazarick's all by himself on the far side. Trips
Coach,
on the near side.
I think this is 4th down territory.
You might be right. 3rd and 10. Brito going to roll. Rolling. Looking. Fires in the end zone. And incomplete.
Coming back for it, that was Jaron Pierce. He had a shot.
I think he was out of bounds and came back in.
Oh, yeah, because his hat
was off. So that would not have counted, I don't believe.
Yeah, with the kicking woes right now, I think you go for it. Field goal really doesn't do you all that much anyway.
Trust it to your defense.
Already a 2-possession ball game.
Maybe you take a timeout and think about it? No. Well, Schuessler's in the game.
Bring in Schuessler.
He becomes a big target.
Bring in the man with a big catch radius, matchup nightmare, put him on a safety or a linebacker.
Keep Keelan White in as some max protection. And let's see what they do. Let's see where Schuessler lines up.
And White can catch a little bit out of the backfield.
Sure,
There's maybe a bit of a check down. Let's see what they do.
They're going to fake it, rolling. They want to throw. They want to go back to White there, but he's covered. And now Brito's rolling. He's looking. Somebody's got to do something. Fires. Knocked away. Incomplete. Flag. Late flag. It's going to be a late hit on Brito. Wow. That's twice.
Coach, let's look at it.
Another late hit on Andrew Brito. He wanted to go to Keelan White on the wheel route.
We're watching the replay here. And an extra shot. Yeah, you don't need that at the end. Let's
Well,
watch
gosh,
it. Let's watch it one more time.
The ball is barely out of his hands, though.
Yeah, but
Oh.
it just he's still riding him. I mean, you can make a case that that's forward momentum, but they're very close on this. They're having a conversation about it.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with that call.
Well, here's the thing.
On the offense,
Oh, wow.
whoa, I didn't catch the number, so we were looking at the wrong play. So
We were looking at the wrong
we
play,
were looking at the wrong player.
Yeah.
So 26-16, 3:20 to go in the third, and Moorpark again still in this thing. Coach Iacenda not happy for obvious reasons.
Must-win game, really, for both teams, but more so College of the Canyons because they have
Sure.
a shot at a wild card here.
They have a shot at being one of 3 conference champions on paper anyway.
Yeah, agreed. Obviously, things have to fall right for them moving forward, but, yeah, you're exactly right.
So the Raiders will take over 1st and 10 at their own 29. Darling and Desmond Davis. And they're going to give it to Davis. He's trying to get somewhere, and there's not much going on. He's spun around and wrapped up by Juice for a gain of a couple.
Very impressed with the ground game tonight here, Joe, for Moorpark. You talked about it coming in, not a team that doesn't put up more than
Yards
14
or
points a game.
or not a lot of
300 yards
Right.
total per game on the season.
Now Davis has some room. He's got a first down. He's out over the 40. So just as you comment the running game, they bust out for a first down and pick up of 8.
Well, it's that initial push up front. We talked about, this is something that we saw in the Fullerton game. That defensive front will get tired because there's not a lot of depth. There's obviously a lot of talent on that line, but the depth isn't there. When it becomes a war of attrition, you're going to get the better of it if you have the backs and the linemen to back it up.
Darling. Oh, the ball's on the ground, and that was Davis. He should be down. His knee was down. His knee was down. There we go. The linesman's going to call that. Good call.
That's a good eye here, Joe. Let's watch it again.
It was a good job of him finding it, but his knee was on the ground when he picked it up.
Yep.
Good job by the linesman to see that. That'll be a loss of a few.
Agreed.
Brings up 2nd and about 14. Back to the 38 of the Raiders. Martin in the ball game now. Bad snap. Darling is going to have to scramble. Got a little bit of room. He goes down. Bobby Brown almost got him up top because of the slide. Not a great spot either.
41-yard line, maybe the 40. It's going to be 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12 coming up.
So this is a big play for the Cougar defense.
Yeah.
They can get a
Gave himself
force a
up
punt
at the
here.
40-yard line.
Hard to imagine that this would be 4-down territory.
No, not at all. You're still in it. You still got a quarter to play with. 1:12 to go here in the 3rd.
You got
Then again, this is a team that did fake punt it from around this area.
You got to like Berendi over here. You're going to fake it and pressure. Down he goes.
Well, you like the one-on-one on
Dorian,
Berendi.
yeah.
You don't like Dorian Gerald plowing over the edge. Let's watch this one more time.
Boy, sometimes
because Gerald gets there
unblockable.
He's just a beast.
I mean, that wasn't even close.
Was not. We'll see it one more time here.
So he just does one hand move and he's by him.
Yeah. Did you see that play by Khalil Mack on Thursday?
I did not.
Versus Kansas City, takes a 340-pound lineman, takes him off with one hand.
Great. That's the 7th sack of the season for Gerald. So now they're going
7.5.
Do a fake? No. 7.5. You're right. It's going to be Brandon Pierce. They're going to let it bounce. And it'll get down around the 24-yard line of the Cougars. And so a good hold there by the Cougar defense.
Hey, you know, I questioned whether him or Juice would win in a 40 or who would win, and I questioned it. I tell you what, if you shortchange a lineman, a defensive lineman, with half a sack, you might get a call.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not the statistician then. I don't have to worry about that. I just report it. We better tell Phil about that. All right, so the Cougar offense will take over. Brito and Jalen Logan in the ball game. 1st and 10 at the 23. Brito over the middle. That's caught. That's Jaron Pierce. Finding his way forward up for a first down.
That's easy money there for Jaron Pierce.
Yes, it was. Pick up
Again,
about
really good
15.
recognition there by Brito.
Move it up to the 38. First
Gets it
and
in,
10.
gets it out.
And that'll do it for the third quarter. Cougars lead 26-16. Cougar football on SoCal College Sports. We'll be right back.
Scores from around the SCFA. West LA, big winner over LA Southwest, 48-6. Fullerton, as we mentioned earlier, a winner over Saddleback with a big third quarter, 56-35. Compton falls to Santa Ana, 59-28. Southwestern, a winner over Mount San Jacinto, 17-7. Ventura, the big winner over Santa Monica, 55-0. Antelope Valley, 17-7 on the road over Santa Barbara. Grossmont, just by the hair on their chinny chin, 37-35 or over Orange Coast. LA Valley goes down to Allen Hancock, 46-7. Now that's a tough trip up to Santa Maria, but LA Valley, the number one team coming into the preseason in the American Conference, that's a big win for Allen Hancock.
Well, Hancock, a formal national division team that was dropped down 2 years ago,
yep.
And showing that they still remember how to do it. 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Raider rolls right. Caught out in the flat. There's Jaron Pierce again. Breaks one tackle. He's at the 50. Into Raider territory at the 40. He's at the 30. He's looking for a little more room. 20. 10. Pierce is going to score. Jalen Pierce.
Jaron Pierce with an absolute
Jaron Pierce, right.
another gear as he kicks on the afterburners. We'll watch it coming right at you from the end zone cam.
62 yards for Jaron Pierce.
Chalk up 6 for the Cougars. Let's see it one more time, and Pierce evades a tackler, and that's just a missed tackle that results in a score going the other way and breaks his game open 32-16 now. Extra point pending.
Nice run.
Is that a new kicker? Is that Deshaun Holmes?
That's UCB.
Oh, check that.
And this one looked good, and it is good. So UCB back on track. And that's a big score there for the Cougars. Give them a little bit of breathing room. They're up 17, 33-16.
Well, back to more scores from around the SCFA. Citrus on top of LA Pierce, 14-7. San Diego Mesa, they're in the fourth, 28-17 over Victor Valley. San Diego Mesa, the number one team in the American. Glendale trailing big to Pasadena City, 31-7. Golden West over Palomar right now. They're at the half, 17-7. Long Beach beating Chaffee 17-7 as well. Mount Sac creating some separation versus El Camino, 25-11. They're in the fourth. Riverside big over LA Harbor as expected, 42-3. Cerritos hanging tough with Bakersfield, 10-9. They're at the half.
Wow. Cerritos coming to town next week here at Cougar Stadium. Let's see if UCB opts for another pooch kick here.
Well, Joe, in case you missed it, the Dodgers are going to the World Series.
That I did know. Game 1 Tuesday?
I believe so. Kershaw.
Wish it would have been the Yankees, but
You a Yankee guy?
no, I'm a tradition guy, so I'd love to see the Dodgers and Yankees. Another pooch, short. Fielded at the 20. Found a little wall of of blockers there. Barrels his way up near the 44, so a nice return in a good field position for the Raiders. I think that was Bata. Hey, there's our name. 33-16, the Cougars lead. 14:40 to play in the ball game. Starters still in. There's Gerald. Eric Banks. It's like Desmond Davis in the backfield with Darling. He's over there. It's actually Desmond. Yeah, it is Davis. And he's trying to do something. Not much going on there. Driven out of bounds up at the 48. So good job by the Cougars to string it out. Second and 5. Davis stays in with Darling. 2 receivers on each side. Davis again. This time is Gerald, and there's nowhere to go there. Should be a tackle for a loss for Dorian Gerald.
Not a big loss. They'll give him forward progress up ahead to the 47.
So they'll call it a loss of 1, bring up 3rd and 6. Another tackle for a loss in the season for Gerald. Team leader in sacks and tackles for losses.
Not a shocker.
As he was last season. The list of schools that came through here in the spring looking at him was amazing. Never seen it in my 20 years here. Darling looking. He's going to take it himself. Boom. Hit hard, but he falls forward. Nice job by Darling, and he'll have enough for the first down.
Yeah,
but
Fanga, the big hit.
Punished. But, boy, he's a little bit like Brito in that regard. He's not afraid.
A little bit bigger than Brito, but no, similar type of running dynamic. Not traditionally a dual threat, but can hurt you with their feet if need be.
45-yard line of the Cougars. 1st and 10 for the Raiders.
Raiders need to score here.
They trailed by 17.
Run 5.
And it's Mark Martin up the middle. He does a nice job staying on his feet. Bobby Brown brings him down, but he's all the way up near the 30.
14.
Brown, DeAndre Henderson there.
Cougars have had a tough time with Mark Martin tonight.
Yep.
No. 14 tackles.
See if we can get a yardage total here on Mark Martin.
Well over his season averages, I can tell you that. 31-yard line of the Cougars. Offset I.
What's Mark Martin at yardage-wise?
They're going to give it on the left side, and it's Martin again, this time only a couple, as he's hit by Alonzo Reeves and KJ Latu. Moved it up to the 28-yard line.
Martin at 93 yards. He had 44 at the half.
44, getting ready for the 100-yard mark. He came into the ball game averaging 43 yards a game.
He had more than that at the half.
So he's doubled his season output. 2nd and 7. They're going to keep it on the ground again. Big hole for Mark Martin. He's at the 20. Ball's on the ground. Picked up. Looks like, was that Darius?
91.
Or is that Alonzo Reeves?
I don't know who's got the ball, though.
We'll see if we can get a look
Alonzo
here.
Reeves.
Is that where he's at? So the 18?
That ball's out right into Alonzo Reeves' hands. That's Cougar
Forced fumble
football.
by 21 Shadrick Lowry.
Right into his hands. We got a man down for the Raiders. And we will come back to you. We'll take a quick break. SoCal College Sports, COC Football. We'll be right back.
21 on the force.
Shadrick Lowry on the force. Alonzo Reeves on the cover.
Where? 24.
Okay. Tackled by who? No. Who tackled our guy?
Now we'll take a break in the action here. Come back just a bit after the injury timeout. Well, Joe, we have an injured player on the field, and that was Mark Martin. That is a huge development.
Their best player tonight, over 100 yards, 106 yards after that carry, but he's carted off with a lower leg injury, so hopefully it's nothing too serious because they'll miss him, and they'll miss him the rest of this ball game. 1st and 10 for the Cougars on the Alonzo Reeves fumble recovery. Brito, he wants to throw. He fires out here. He's got R.B. Marlowe, makes the first guy miss. He's up at the 30, puts his shoulder down, driven out of bounds up around the 36-yard line. Nice job by R.B. Marlowe for a first down. And the Cougars continue to go to the air. 1st and 10 at the 37. 11:35 to go in the ball game. The Cougars lead 33-16. Brito, you want to go with the shovel. It's Jalen Logan. He's up around the 48. So they do the fake toss, the fake pitch, and then do the shovel.
Yeah. Well, we talked about how effective that play can be, and we see it right there. What that does, it creates a little bit of a gap, a little bit of a vacuum in the middle of the defense, and you follow a blocker and you pick up a nice chunk play.
Picked up 8, bring up 2nd and 2 at the 45. Pierce and Holmes on the near side, Trips on the far side. There goes Marlowe. Bad snap, and Brito's just able to recover it.
He takes a shot at the end.
Yes, he did. So that'll be a loss of about 5.
Well, 2nd and on the doorstep, and now this is
Now you've got a
Third
third
and-
and 6 or 7.
3rd, a little gray area here.
Yeah. So Logan stays in. Keelan White on the sidelines. Brito. He wants to go deep. He's looking for Holmes, double coverage, and it's almost intercepted, incomplete. So he threw into the coverage. Not a great decision there.
That's great help over the top by Hayden Galvin. And if we watch it again, Galvin, that's one of the times where Brito, who does a pretty good job of spreading it out, keyed in on Holmes, and Galvin nearly makes a play.
So the Raiders defense steps up there, and they'll get
See
the ball
Galvin,
back.
we'll get a good shot of Galvin
Yep.
right here.
Playing the ball, which I like to see.
Yeah.
I think the Cougars wanted some kind of interference call, but I didn't see any.
Yeah, they're not going to get it.
So punt team for Travis Reiner, and deep for the Raiders is Corso. Reiner kicks it away from him,
Good
but Corso
kick.
comes over, and he fumbles it, and that is Cougar football, recovered by Khalid Taylor. So Corso trying to make something happen and can't control it. And Taylor, Johnny on the spot. Nice job by Khalid Taylor. So big turnover for the Raiders there.
Just can't have it. You have
No.
zero margin for error, and Corzo had made a beautiful catch earlier in this ball game. 2nd touchdown of the day for the Raiders. Muffs one there, and new life here to the Cougar offense.
So the Cougars will take over at the 16-yard line of the Raiders. Jalen Logan stays in with Andrew Brito.
Victor Alley closing the gap. 1:45 remaining in that one. They're in the 4, 28-23. Mesa clinging to a 5-point lead. Palomar also closing the gap, 31-21. They now trail it only by 10 to Golden West. Just started the 4th.
Raiders started to show blitz there. The Cougars checked out. Still look like they're coming. And Brito's got it himself, and he's wrapped up pretty quickly and thrown down.
Tackled by
Pops up quick, though. Pickup of about 3. Maybe
Well, been a pretty game effort here from Moorpark tonight, Joe.
yes. They've had some opportunities they've taken advantage of. Others they haven't, but I think they've
The effort and the result does not reflect that of a 1-5 team.
Oh, and the snap over Brito's head. That's 2 bad snaps on this drive now. Actually, one last drive, one this drive. And Brito, is he slow getting up?
And he get knocked in the helmet at the end there.
Yeah. So, boy, now, again, they're in a tough situation. Facing 3rd and very long. They've got to get all the way up to near the 6.
Yeah, sometimes when you have to fall on the football, 20. That thing hurts.
Yes. 3rd and about 20.
You ever have to do that, Joe?
I recovered a fumble once and got,
How'd it feel?
Not good. When you're, but I felt good recovering the fumble. Brito's rolling. He's got a little bit of room. He's up at the 20 and running out of bounds at about the 14-15. He'll be well short of the first down, but good position for a field goal if they opt to do that with Usibi. Yeah, I don't see any movement from him. So let's see.
It really doesn't matter at this point. It's a 3-score ball game.
With 8:26 to go. So 4th and 9, and the offense will stay on the field.
Yeah, because even if you go with an incompletion here, still pretty good, pretty
you
bad
got
field position for Moorpark. If you go for the field goal and you miss it, the kicking game's been shaky tonight, well, now you're giving up yardage.
Now they're going to call timeout and have a talk about it.
Well, here the play clock down to 2, so they'll fire a timeout bullet. We'll take a timeout ourselves. 8:03 to go in the 4th quarter. Cougars with a commanding 33-16 lead over the Raiders. National Northern Division showdown here, Week 8, SCFA football on SoCal College Sports.
Back for 4th quarter action, 8:03 to go. Cougars lead 33-16 at Cougar Stadium. Joe Soriano, Mike Cepeda with you. The Cougars have a 4th and 9 at the 15 of the Raiders. Waiting to see what the Raider defense shows. Now they'll make the call. Brito, another high snap, fields it, fires in the corner, got a man open, and it's caught. Touchdown. And that's a great catch and throw. Deshaun Holmes, Andrew Brito on 4th and 9. Who needs a kicker? What a great throw that was, on the money, and an excellent route by Deshaun Holmes.
What a throw.
Wow.
One more time.
Excellent read, too, because he had a guy short and another guy had Holmes a little deeper. And, he needed to be really accurate to get that ball there.
Well, not only that, he had to have it drop over the outstretched arm of the safety coming over. Just a terrific throw and catch.
4th touchdown pass for Brito. 2 in the second half. Jaron Pierce. And
Pierce with the big one.
Yep. And now Deshaun Holmes. He had 2 in the first half, so great night for Andrew Brito.
I wonder if he's approaching 400 yards.
He had over 200 at halftime for the crack COC staff.
395.
4 touchdowns. We were right. So 395 and 4 touchdowns. What
so
a
he's got the hat
performance.
trick plus 1. He's almost at the 400-yard barrier.
What a performance.
Yeah, and not only that, but how about the accuracy? I'm sure that number's pretty high at the half. He was 12 of 15.
Right. And that's something he struggled a little bit with this season, but some of that comes from him, the Brett Favre in him that thinks I can make every throw and wants to make a play. And sometimes when you do that, you risk incompletes and interceptions, and But
he's not thinking about that number. And tonight, I think it was a point of emphasis for him to think about that number and, focus on, every throw that you make.
Yeah. Been excellent tonight. Eusebi's going to kick it deep this time, and it's back all the way inside the 5, and that's Corso. Fumbled last time on the punt return. Trying to get to the near side, and down he goes. A nice open field tackle. Khalid Taylor, he's had himself a ball game tonight. We've called his name quite a bit.
Wonder how many tackles he has in the book.
Plus a fumble recovery,
Yep.
and so making a nice adjustment moving to the defensive side of the ball.
Well, if we had a Gruden Grinders type of segment, I'm sure he'd be on the bus or in the conversation
Right.
anyway.
7:49 to play, 40-16. The Cougars now lead. My guess is the Cougars get the ball again. Maybe we'll see Darren Blackshear in a quarterback get some reps.
Could be.
See if he starts to warm up at all. But in the meantime, the Raiders will give it another go with Tanner Darling and Desmond Davis. Fires out on the left, and it's low. A late flag comes in. I think might have a hold.
Either that or illegal contact.
Illegal hands to the face or something like that.
Something going against the Cougars, I think it's safe to say at this point.
Mark Martin, we saw him carted off earlier. That was a shame, over 100 yards tonight. But we don't expect to see him back for the Raiders.
They're at the 31 right now.
Was it a chop block?
Well, they're marking it off in favor of the Cougars.
Yeah, it was on Raiders. They gave 2 numbers, so I don't know if they high-load somebody. But things starting to go south very quickly for the Raiders.
Yeah, the wheels have fallen off.
Back to the 15, just inside the 15.
Fall seemed a little bit more appropriate than fallen.
1st and 20. Darling's been the guy the whole way. Pretty game effort. Pressure. He wants to throw the screen, and there's nothing doing there. There was blue shirts everywhere. So he had the pressure coming from Dorian Gerald and Eric Banks, and then they left the 2 guys in the middle of the field to stuff up the screen. So good job by the defense.
Yeah, I just don't get it with Darling. Darling seems like at times he has some serious flashes, and then at other moments,
Right.
he's not exactly helped out by some of the receivers that have dropped some balls here. We saw it on the opening drive.
Sure.
That should not have been a 3-and-out. That should have been an early extension of that drive. And instead, right back at you, the Cougars come and put 7 on the board.
2nd and 20. Now he flings it out here, but he's hit and dropped right away. I think that was Corso again, and that's Dennison. No. Is that Dennison?
That is Dennison.
He's had a couple nice open field tackles as well. Yep. So bring up 3rd and long, very long.
Yeah, Dennison coming in with a little heat, too. Let's see if we can see the hit again at the end here.
Just missed it. Darling wants to go on the far sideline. Into coverage, overthrows everybody. Incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down, and the Raiders will have to give it back. Well, I think Blackshear was warming up. He should come in. So the punt team, Jaron Pierce and Brandon Pierce, will go deep. We haven't seen Blackshear since, I think, the Fullerton game, possibly. So DeShazer.
Was he in for the Fullerton game? I thought it was Brito the whole way. Could be wrong.
They ran a fake again, and they are going to be short. So they ran to the up back again, but this time the Cougars give up some yardage.
That's Martin?
Is that Martin back? It is Martin. So good for him. He's back in the game. How did he get carted off the field and then end up back in the game?
Could have been a cramp.
Maybe. But
I'll tell you what, a cramp is just
they are painful.
Just as debilitating as a big injury.
I agree. But not enough for the first, so the Cougar offense will take over. And let's see if Blackshear.
God, I get cramps sometimes tying my shoes.
Yeah, it will be Blackshear, number 16, the left-hander. Darren Blackshear is the sophomore from Ridgeview in Bakersfield. Athletic. 47 in the backfield along with him.
Yeah, more of a dual threat guy.
Yes. That is Forrest Carter. He's a freshman from Taft in Canton, Ohio. Blackshear wants to throw. He does. And right over the middle, that's complete. We got some new guys in the game. That's Jamin Serrano from Hawaii. And he'll be short of the first. Picked up about 9.
Not to be confused with Soriano.
Correct.
Well, looking ahead next week, triple header here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Cerritos coming here. We'll be playing Canyons. You and I will have the call on that. Ventura at Moorpark. Poor Raiders.
Yeah, that's a tough
West
game.
LA at ELAC. All
Blackshear.
games at 6 p.m. next week.
High snap, Blackshear header, just grab it and go down.
Yep.
So a little trouble with the snap. They got to get that figured out.
46 and 39.
Yeah, 4 of them tonight that have really been off the mark and
31.
Can hurt you in a big
can't
game.
have. Oh, absolutely. You know, this is obviously a game where you have a lot of margin for error. When you go up against the likes of a Bakersfield, Fullerton, maybe even Cerritos next week,
Sure.
can't have that.
No. Oh,
Cerritos
we
with
got
the lead
something.
right now at home over Bakersfield.
Wow.
And they just extended that with a touchdown in the third quarter, 17-9. So Bakersfield in first place coming into Week 8 of the SCFA in the National Northern Conference, trailing Cerritos 17-9 on the road. And that's a tough drive because Cerritos, that's more in the central location,
Sure.
but they're in the north. And
Right.
well, sometimes a commute can hurt you. Go talk to LA Valley about the trip up to Santa Maria earlier today. They went down huge.
Blackshear. Oh, there's the ball on the carpet, but they recover it. They wanted to do a draw
47.
to Forrest Carter, but mishandled. So Blackshear, I mean, not all his fault, but looking a little shaky right now.
Well, what did you say before the ball game? You know, this is a team that has played once in 21 days.
Right.
Obviously, a bit of a rust factor. Throw in a backup quarterback, a serious rust factor.
Who
We're
hasn't
seeing it
played,
here.
right, hasn't played in quite a few weeks. So going to bring up 4th and about 15, maybe 16.
They'll call it 13, but it looks like it's 15.
I'm going to call it 16. Punt team will come on. So not a great series for the Cougar offense there. Had a bad snap and mishandled handoff. But hopefully maybe they'll get another series and get that worked out.
Again, recapping some of the scores from earlier today. West LA, a big winner over LA Southwest, 48-6. Fullerton in one of the earlier games, 56-35 over Saddleback, a showdown, top 5 showdown in the SCFA.
Reiner with a good kick, taking a Cougar bounce, let it go. They finally grab it around the 4, so good coverage there, and we'll pin the Raiders deep.
Santa Ana with a win over Compton, 59-28. Southwestern over Mount San Jacinto, 17-7. Ventura big over Santa Monica, 55-0. AVC Antelope Valley, 17-7 over Santa Barbara. Grossmont over Orange Coast, 37-35. And Allen Hancock, we just mentioned it, 46-7 over LA Valley.
Does Fullerton play anybody tough still? I mean, is there anybody that can beat them?
That's pretty much it.
Is there anybody that can beat
I
them?
think they run the table at OCC.
They have not played Riverside, though. Is that correct?
They do not play Riverside because they're
Until
not in the same division.
Until the playoffs.
Correct.
Okay.
Same quarterback.
Riverside is in the Central along with Mount Sac and Long Beach.
So
You talk about a
Darling,
gauntlet.
yeah. Oh, that's a tough conference.
Yeah,
So
in the South, it's Palomar, Grossmont, OCC, Fullerton, and Saddleback. So, well,
And they took care of Saddleback. Fullerton did, right?
took care of Saddleback today. So you have to figure, if Saddleback runs the table, they're going to have 2 losses on the season. Their other loss came to Ventura
And to Fullerton.
and to Fullerton.
So
So
be
they'll have 2
interesting about
losses
that
on-
wild card.
Yeah, the wild card gets interesting, but I mean, Saddleback probably going to come out of the South. You would think.
Well, that was some of the talk as we look at second down here. Still Tanner Darling.
Pass 22.
In discussing it, if the Cougars were to win out, finish in a 3-way tie, they'd finish 8-2. Saddleback could conceivably finish 8-2, both with the same losses, Ventura and Fullerton.
Yeah, but then it goes to the committee, and then it probably goes by quality wins. Who
Maybe.
did you beat this year?
Maybe.
And, what does Long Beach do in the Central?
Yeah.
Does Long Beach is probably going to beat Chaffee tonight if they haven't already? If Long Beach beats Riverside and Mount Sac in conference, and I don't know if that's possible because I think they dropped a game.
Darling going long, and that ball is intercepted.
Well, no, let's go back a week ago as we look
Intercept-
at the replay.
Khalid Taylor.
Here. Man, Taylor
with another
have a game.
turnover.
You want to talk about SCFA Defensive Player of the Week?
Oh,
Khalid
yes.
Taylor in his first start
His
defensively.
his first defensive start.
Wow. A fumble recovery, an interception.
Tackles all over the
Yeah, I
field.
wonder how many tackles Khalid Taylor has right now.
Yeah. Didn't he recover an onside kick, too?
Think you're right on that.
Big game for 27.
Yeah,
Great
so
job.
Mount Sac lost last week versus Long Beach City.
Did they?
Yeah.
Still a lot to be.
Yeah, there's a lot to
Figured
be
out.
determined here.
Yes.
So, if Long Beach does come out of the South, well, COC
That helps
has,
COC.
Yeah.
Blackshear now will give it another go. In the shotgun. Next to him is Adrian Morris. He's a freshman, also out of Lakeland Christian. Play clock getting down. Blackshear wants to roll. He's got pressure. Rolling. Fires, and it's low and incomplete. So he wanted to go kind of across his body back to Jamin Sorono, but nothing doing there will bring up second down. 3:06 to go in the ball game. The Cougars lead 40-16.
Yep. Riverside 7-0, El Camino 4-2, Long Beach 4-2, Mount Sac 4-2 after the results from last week. So El Camino likely going to go down to Mount Sac. So that'll drop them out of the second place tie in the Central. Long Beach, with a win tonight, would go to 5-2, so they'd be tied with Mount Sac. So two lost teams coming out of the Central going to make it very interesting, especially with the win over Long Beach. If Long Beach beats Riverside, I think COC gets in.
Oh, that ball's caught. Oh, incomplete. In and out of the hands of about three different guys. Let's check it out. Should have been intercepted. Then it should have been caught, and then intercepted again. So it should have been intercepted. Should have been caught. Well, and you remember last year, didn't Long Beach go 8-2 last year and not go to the playoffs?
Yeah, they just.
It's a tough deal.
It's a tough division.
All right, so 3rd and 10 for Blackshear and the Cougar offense. Going to set up the draw, and that's going nowhere. Right back up to the line of scrimmage. That was Adrian Morris. So the punt team will come on again. So 2 3-and-outs for the Cougar offense with Darren Blackshear. But again, he's got to be rusty.
Yeah.
Hasn't played in probably 4 or 5 weeks. But the key was, we talked about one game at a time. They've taken care of business tonight.
Okay, so obviously, we're the ones that are supposed to be looking into the future and what the possibilities may be. Say Long Beach does run the table in the Central and they knock off Riverside in addition to having beat Mount Sac last week. Well, what happens then? Because you have Long Beach with 2 losses on the season, but a win over Riverside and Mount Sac, but a loss to COC.
Right.
So then you have to factor that into the equation.
Sure.
But the quality wins probably in favor of Long Beach there if that were the case. If
True.
Riverside runs the table here in the Central,
Is Riverside's undefeated, right?
yeah, Riverside undefeated. They're 7-0 with a win today. And the question's going to be,
Bow snap. Reiner just gets it off. And Corso will give a fair catch inside the 10. A lot to go on still.
yeah.
But you got they got to take care of business.
I think if Saddleback holds serve in the South, they're probably going to be the wild card. Because Fullerton's for sure coming out of the South. And right now, Ventura's in the driver's seat in the North. But if they get knocked off by Bakersfield, then you got a battle.
Right. Darling will finish it out. 1st and 10 at the 8 for the Raiders. Going to give it to Martin. He's up the middle. And down he goes. He'll be short of the first, up near the 15.
54, tackle.
So that was not Martin. He's checked out. That's number 28 for the Raiders, Anthony McLean. Clock runs. About a minute 30 to go. Cougars lead 40-16. Darling's going to keep it himself, trying to bounce around the left side. He'll have enough for the first. Bangs himself forward.
Yeah, the first and then some. Man, Darling.
Oh, and a late flag comes in.
Yeah, it's going to go against Cougars.
Oh, they're clapping.
I don't know what Moorpark's clapping about. They're down by 24 with a minute 21 to go.
I think it might be on the Raiders. No, we'll see.
A lot of finger pointing by the referees.
Yeah. But I see the one guy looking at Raiders trying to get a number.
Yeah. Referees looking at like they're having a conversation with somebody that works at Home Depot.
They're going to mark it back. It looked like he wants to step towards the Raiders.
What are they?
Wow,
What are they
Darling.
clapping about? You got the Moorpark clapping, and the penalties against them, and they're down by 24. Just tone it down, man.
It's still going to be a first down. They're going to give him the first down, and then they'll mark off the yardage, and it'll be. I couldn't see what happened. I thought maybe he taunted a little bit, but
Yeah.
that would have been unsportsmanlike, not a personal foul. So after all that, it's 1st and 10 at the 19 with 1:21 to go. You know, I give Darling some credit. He hung in there tonight, gave it everything he had. Now, this is Corso at quarterback, actually.
Yeah.
So Corso will go down.
By 33.
Can't imagine he's going to chuck it. He'll probably just hand it off or run it himself.
No, Darling going to check back into the ball game, or check that. Corso going to stay out there.
Yep. Corso and Bata. There's Bata. He's trying to turn the corner. Nothing doing over there. Cougars still playing hard with the backups. Like to see that.
And 40 on the tackle. 4 and 40.
Hidetaka Kanawaza.
That's a tough one, Joe. I'm going to give you a pass on it.
All right. Kanazawa. There it is. Kanazawa. Should be the final play of the ball game. Bad snap. Corso's got it. He's looking. Throws it out of bounds.
20 pass. That was a pass.
So that's incomplete. Will stop the clock. Thought for sure they'd run. 15 seconds to go. So a couple things that I got to say I like the position change. Brandon Pierce over to offense. Boom. Long touchdown. And Khalid Taylor's been all over the field on defense.
Yeah, I think the
Coach Icena looks like a genius.
he really does.
Or why didn't you do this from the beginning?
I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot. I think it's more positive than negative.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
It's not the same era of how did you not see that Deshaun Watson was the better option for the Texans versus Tom Savage.
Corso, he throws it. It's complete.
No, that's just it's a matter.
They're going to set the
It's
clock.
incomplete.
Oh,
The ball is
sure. No, they're going to move the chains.
Well, I saw the near side line judge motion that it was incomplete. Well,
Going to set it. And try to get one more snap off, it looks like. They do. Corso fires over here. Hit. Immediately dropped. Incomplete. And that should do it. That's the ball game. So the Cougars finish it off 40-16 over the Raiders. Raiders gave them a pretty good game, but the Cougars able to finish, get this one in the books as a W, and look forward to a very tough Cerritos team coming in next week, Mike.
indeed, we'll bring it out shortly. Come back, say our thank yous, give a couple recaps, and give maybe a score update in the Cerritos and Bakersfield game. Back in a moment here on SoCal College Sports. Well, it's a wrap, 40-16 in favor of the Cougars. An impressive showing at home against a very game Moorpark Raider team. Joe, very impressive performance from Andrew Brito.
Really was 20 of 29, 395 yards and 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. So great job by him. We saw some really pinpoint passes, and was very impressed by him tonight for sure.
Yeah, what more can you say about Andrew Brito? The kid's a stud. He went for the 4-bagger tonight. Obviously had some things to work on coming out of the Ventura loss last week on the Thursday night game. The accuracy had been an issue all season. And what does he do? He comes out and is just lights out, as you said, 20 of 29. And, again, an impressive performance. And, hey, how about a shout out to this line up front? Miguel Garcia didn't play tonight, and they stepped up. They were able to find some holes, find some time for Andrew Brito to really operate and be as successful as he was.
Well, we talked about them averaging 200 yards a game, rushing 5th in Southern California. And tonight, not quite the yardage that they're used to on the ground, but still, Brito was phenomenal and had the time to do what he needed to do. But Keelan White, not a ton of carries, 6 carries, but 87 yards. So, the average per carry was excellent for the Cougars tonight. And let's talk a little bit about that, the position change. Brandon Pierce going over to the offensive side of the ball, Khalid Taylor going over on the defensive side, and both players made big impacts on their respective sides of the ball tonight.
Well, not only huge impacts, but, with Khalid Taylor, you're talking about SCFA Player of the Week, possibly honors here in the National North. So just kudos to the coaching staff in identifying exactly what those players' strengths are. And moving forward, obviously, we're probably going to see them in those same positions coming up throughout 2017.
Absolutely. And defensive side of the ball, hey, you held them to 16 points. They're averaging 14, so great job there. And, Dorian Gerald, another big night. Juice, Alonzo Reeves, a fumble recovery, the leading tackler. Yeah. So good overall performance, I think, on the defensive side of the ball. And, I think they shook off the cobwebs after only playing one game in 21 days, and now they're back into the flow. You got Cerritos coming to town, who's giving Bakersfield everything they want tonight. So doesn't get any easier next week.
Yeah, last time we checked, up 17-9. They're in the third quarter. That's at Cerritos. So could be a completely different script when we come in next week. Again, we will have that game for you from Canyons, 6 o'clock start time, triple header on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Pay attention to the schedule as it will get posted later in the week. Time for some thank yous.
Well, thank you for having me. Always enjoy being up here. We can't say enough thank you to the COC staff.
Yeah, Chad Peters, Jesse
Munoz, all the guys, Phil, AJ, everybody over here always does a phenomenal
Coach
job.
Ayasenda,
Chuck
football
Lyon,
program, they're the ones that really went to bat and made this possible here. And obviously, big things happening here at College of the Canyons. We talk about their work in the community. Yes. Special Olympics, Southern California, had a chance to see them earlier in the week. We saw some of the pictures from that earlier tonight. And again, a shout out to the entire program here at College of the Canyons. That'll do it for our coverage here tonight. Week 8 in the books. The final, again, 40-16. Joe?
Well, a lot of big football still to come. Cerritos, Bakersfield, and Ventura still have to play, so there's a lot of things that are left unsaid for this conference championship before it's all settled, and it's really going to get good.
For Joe Soriano, I'm Mike Cepeda. See you next week.